They're a good team. They will bounce back, and we have to see. The Saints did take map 1 on Cafe 7-5. Looked great toward the end there. Now we're into pick and ban, Maverick being the first one to fall on the sword.
Yeah, interesting to see how the bans are going to switch up, how the comps are going to switch up. I think for the most part, we're going to see some very similar operators come through. I got it that time
Heroes
there,
agents.
but nonetheless, we'll see if Thatcher actually gets taken out as well, because that's sort of the one to go to, but Jackal as well still left up and available.
Yeah.
That will be taken off the table. No surprises there, of course. Very curious to see what the defensive ban is going to be. Of course, Valk, very good. Saw them have a couple of issues with the Alibi for a couple of rounds as well there, but nonetheless, a couple of very good defensive agents that you can take off the table. It's less rigid, I think, than in other metas.
Yeah, and Steve's is at the point now, there's like 40-something operators per side or some crazy number, so you're going to see a lot. Mira honestly expected. That was the one that was guaranteed. Yeah, you couldn't see Adam. He made the Mira pose, did the smile for the picture, so let everybody know a little look behind the scenes. Mira, though, going to be banned out. That is probably the most common defense ban. Now, we'll have to see what's going to come through next. It is going to be Azami. Honestly, I think we're going to see a lot of the Azami bans, especially because she's so new and so strong. This guy. So we're going to see. So Kennesaw may be playing shorthanded in more ways than one, but they will have to try to fight their way through Clubhouse here. Saints are going to start on the attacking side, and we will get into the game. Trongo going to insta-lock that Thatcher. We're going to see Ace, Sledge, Habana waiting on Nezi to make that final decision. It is going to be Iana. And we're going to see Jaeger, Castle, Wamai, Smoke, and Cade, the side of Kennesaw.
Yeah, very standard comp, it feels like, coming through from the side of the Saints. Kennesaw pulling through a couple of different ones again. Once again, the Wamai is sort of a little bit of an oddball pick, I want to say, to an extent. But nonetheless, still going to be feeling pretty confident in that one. We saw it come out in that last round.
It's a strong, yeah, the character itself is really strong. I mean, you can suck grenades to the ceiling and stuff. Yeah, there's always going to be some value in that character. Saints, they're going to play, pretty standard Golem stuff from the first couple seasons. They're going to add in that Iana. Gonna add in, looks like maybe Kira's gonna make the switch to the Zofia as well. So that is the one thing with Siege. I think this last maybe 4 months, if your drone survives the droning phase, which is the laning phase, the droning phase, you actually have the chance to switch your attacking operator, try to catch the defense off guard. Maybe you have a different idea for a setup, you see some utility you do not want to play around with, make that swap. Gonna be switching off of. See, it doesn't matter. Zofia's going to be locked in. Now, we'll get into round 1 here on Clubhouse.
Yeah, and you can see that drone just sitting on that shelf. Went undetected as well. So just being able to get a little bit of information, at least where one of those hard walls is as well. Not going to be too bad, but of course Clubhouse being a little bit of a wider map, it feels. Of course, going down into, I believe this is Garage, yes. Yeah. No, it's a little bit more open. You've got a little bit more space. Drone gonna get shot out, but they fixed the bug. We can still hear gunshots.
No, it's only in the droning phase.
Only in the droning phase.
Yeah, very specifically. Yeah, so luckily we're gonna be safe. You can drone freely. We can watch all the drones we want, and during the regular round, it's all good. As you see, though, it is gonna be a garage play, so you're gonna be able to play from that top side. You're gonna send these Habana shots in on the down low here. Try to find people laying behind that motorcycle. Sat up in the corner though. Tag's gonna go through. Beautiful kill, Blanc. Beautiful job using that Habana, immediately finding that frag. Now looking to set up for another. Iana clone is going to go out, trying to make a play here. Kira going to get tagged up just a little bit. Saints still holding on to that advantage, though, and 2 minutes left to play.
Of course, that Iana clone, I believe, just is able to move a little bit there. So, you get a little bit of, I want to say, a little bit of a misdirection coming through with that one. Lots of confusion. I mean, if Alibi wasn't enough in that sense, Iana also provides that as well. As we mentioned earlier, it's a little bit hard to find everything, super unique, especially when you've got some 3 very specific roles. But another pick getting picked up, Blanc going to be cut down, going through that garage area as well. Kirabong won't be able to find anything, just going to shoot out one of those cameras. I believe they might have whiffed on the camera, so still that information there. But on that bomb site, you can see they're starting to close in on that location slowly but surely. Zerky once again carrying that diffuser, and the ones are still lurking around, getting little bits of information, catching a foot or two every here and there.
Yeah, Zerky trying to figure out how he wants to play this top side. Going to get that pistol ready in case they send out that rotation out that door. If you've been on the attacking side, you've guaranteed gotten caught off guard from that door multiple times. The Saints are going to lock that one down with Kira, though. They're going to slowly look to make this push now. They're pinging away at this wall. They want to try to find some way to breach into this bad boy. They're going to look. The Cade is going to be on there, though, so they're going to have to find some way, get Thatcher up there, disable that stuff out, and then work their way into the site here. But playing very patiently these last 30, 40 seconds.
Yeah, and of course, Cade with that electricity just makes it so annoying. There's the Claymore through the drone hole there.
There it is.
Always so scary to deal with as well. Actually going to be cut down on the side, I believe, is Nezi, but is going to break through that Cade wall as well. You can see Kirabong now moving in aggressively. That far wall going to be so difficult to buster, but there it is. With 30 seconds left, bringing 30-second meta back here. Going to be trying to do anything that they can. Kirabong going to break down another wall here. Time is ticking. They've got to get this diffuser up here because these are running up. It's a 3 1v2 there. Exer, as well as Vonzen. Vonzen caught down as well. The smoke bomb going to make this so difficult to get in there. Less shots going down, is taking out all the util that they can. Will be able to plant that diffuser, at least for the time being. Look at this angle from Kierbong. Great angle, and that's going to be the clutch on the round. Xaron going to get cut down at the end.
Yeah, beautiful job there by Kira to get that breach, and the Saints did such a good job. Habana, you're able to take out that top side on the help with Thatcher there. I believe they might use Ace actually for that top side. Send Habana down low, breach those garage doors, send Ace up top, deal with that Cade, and get to the top side. Slowly put that pinch on. When you have a 3v1 as well, you're looking very, very strong. So the Saints do take this first attacking round. Now we're going to have to see some adjustments. We're going to see Ela and Legion, two of the most obnoxious, very, very strong characters, maybe 2 years ago.
Yes.
They've not necessarily in the same spot. They're still two very, very strong characters. Actually, we're going to see the Legion switch. I'm a little bit salty. I love my boy Legion. Ela, though, fun fact, used to have the most broken weapon in all of Rainbow Six. They pretty much had to gut that thing because she was basically two-shotting with an SMG fire rate with AR distance. But she's still a very strong character. She has the Grismop mines. Going to throw them above those doorways, able to stun up the side of the Saints, try to slow those pushes. They're going to see the Oryx once again, though, so it's going to be a little bit of an aggressive play, but nonetheless.
And you can see sort of setting up into this basement area, just trying to board that one up as well. A little bit of a different spot for them to put it, of course. I believe this is in the Arsenal, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult for them to work all the way down to the basement in this situation. You know, once again, verticality going to come into play here. In basements, you literally cannot shoot up in that situation, so you know your floor is safe at the very least, but of course, your ceiling going to be always a threat, especially with, I believe, they still got that sledge available. Switch over from Nezi as well, so you can stop be a little bit different as well for them. A little bit of a different look coming through on this attacking side after keeping the same 5 agents. They say, well, we're going to switch it up a little bit here. Yeah,
Nezi going to go over to the Lion now. So Lion going to pop that drone. Oh, going to be a spawn pick from Vonson. Beautiful job. The substitute coming in, playing like a starter right now. Going to find that kill, get these Saints down to a 4-man advantage. And losing your boy Thatcher early in the round is going to be a very hard time to get these defenses back up. Now, those Cade, the Cade ability is pretty much going to be safe from any harm unless the Saints are able to find some way to use grenades, off-angle, destroy it another way. Thatcher going to be off the board in the Saints now. 2.5 minutes to figure out what they want to do.
You can see Blanc just sort of hanging upside down, going to try and use that Habana to the most of her ability to try and break through some of these sort of floor panels at the very least. There it is, just burning through there. Take that out now, just trying to hold these off angles, as you said. It always comes down to sort of these weird upside down off angles that you can find with just a pixel. Nonetheless, a very slow and methodical round.
Oh! little bit of you know, bait and switch, a little bit of Olay there with the drone. Is going to get spotted out. Going to find that Ela in basement though, and yeah, camping basement. That's the thing. You can kind of keep one person down there unless there's like a 5-stack crazy rush. It's going to be a very, very hard place to get it and find that penetration. You're going to have to try to play through this top side, which they're doing right now through the kitchen, trying to set something up. Although they are down a man, make that 2. Zerky going to get finished off as well. Bonson finding his second kill there on the Oryx, doing such a good job being that anchor. I mean, every other member pretty much had 0 frags. Vonson pretty much trying to carry here.
Vonzen doing what they can, and I think the main thing for Vonzen is just showing up in sort of the substitute situation. May have a little bit of a vibe for what the Saints are looking to do. Maybe was watching that game one and says, hey, I noticed that they like to go for this play. They like to play slower. They like to do sort of this stuff. You're able to pick up some of those strats, and maybe you're able to execute on it at the end, but nonetheless, up and down. Pure ball. Oh, they thought they had the down low, but CollegiateR actually going to get traded out as well there.
Yeah, that was ambitious, but I don't necessarily hate the idea. Just when you don't have as much info as you need, trying to plan into Arsenal there can be a pretty annoying.
A rough spot.
They're going to have a lot of info. Yeah, this is the bomb, the diffuser is going to be pretty much ungatherable. Blanc is going to find that trade out, but ultimately it is going to be a 1v3 for Blanc. Trying to figure out what's going to happen here. Going to go for the spray. Is going to get tagged down. Spookito going to be the one to take him out there, and now we're into a 1-1 tie in Clubhouse.
And look at this angle, man. It's just so tough because right on the drop down, basically diffuser, and then you've got Blanc on the opposite side of that angle, right down straight shot. Really difficult on that one because once again, it's sort of Peeker's advantage in that situation because you're not really, you have to check so many angles on your drop down, whereas on the opposite side, it is a lot easier to find it. But nonetheless, a little bit of a switch up here. Looks like Nezi opting for Flora, potentially going to be popping out the Raspberry Pis. See if that is their choice. Legion.
Yes.
Oh, gets locked in by Vonzen here. So, going to be dropping the goo grenades everywhere. See what they can find.
Legion, stay alive as long as possible and farm goo mines outside of the objectives. That's the name of the game for him. And we're going to see the Bandit coming through. So, one of the OGs of Rainbow Six Siege. Although, Thatcher going to play perfectly into that. The problem is, though, can they keep Trongo alive? Last round was the first one to get picked. that pretty much is going to stall out your entire push. You're going to rely a lot on that Thatcher to clear out all of this hard breach, set up these walls to become soft for Hibana for this ace if they decide to run that as well. Yeah, Nezzy going to be on the floor as there. So we're already going to start to see some adaptations from both sides. Now curious to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, you can see swapping off of the sledge there as well.
Yeah.
Onto something different. Going to see what they want to test.
It'll be Sophia.
Sophia is such a strong.
Yeah, and she has the same hard breach as Sledge, but just I think a better gun and everything. I think a better overall kit, so it makes sense.
Random shot. See if you get a
Probably
kill.
a camera.
Possibly at
Yeah.
that too.
So you can't even see them, they're so far away. People just know, like, just pixel, and they instantly shoot them because they've done that a million times, but yeah, it looks like nothing half the time.
Nonetheless, you can just see slowly working up towards this upper floor. Once again, this was a very good execution on the site the first time around, but the drone seeing what they can get. Slowly but surely, Trongo just trying to move up. Any information. Oh, there's someone on the opposite side of that wall, and as you can see, immediate response. They're going to try and break through this wall.
Yeah, they're going to send the Thatcher nade out. Now they're going to try to get that hard breach ready. Thatcher Thermite combo. He is going to Bandit. Okay, I was going to say, I wonder if Bandit tricking is still viable. It looks like it is. So basically what happens, when you hear the Thatcher thing going up on the wall, Bandit taps the electric to just place it on the wall for that half second to shut it down. That's why you saw two of them fizzle out there. So you have to time that Thatcher grenade perfectly. Very nice to see a Bandit trick going against Thatcher Thermite. It's literally like season 1 of Siege. Honestly, it's super refreshing to see. Sotero is going to get tagged down very low the first trouble. Did a good job delaying that breach. Trongo, he's got some info in Garage for the Saints. Maybe he can try to make some kind of play off this and find a pick.
Just chilling on the ground there, trying to hold any sort of angle at the those pixel angles once again. Nezzy getting a little bit of a jump peek as well. Good to know that there's some strats that come through with the drones. Blunk, though, getting taken down to half. So health bars a little bit worse for where a couple of members lit up on the side of the Saints. But nonetheless, Kennesaw still trying to find anything that they can't surely holding down, pushing back towards their site. Now here comes a little bit more gunfire coming through from Saints as they try and break through onto the site.
Yeah, a minute and a half, and we've had 2 failed thermites and 1 soft wall breach pretty much, so it's going to end up coming down to this last little bit. I think whatever team's able to find these frags is going to ultimately be, like, obviously at a huge advantage, but it'll give them a lot of momentum here in this round. The Saints, a couple members tagged down a little bit. Blunt going to be tagged down to about half HP, but nothing too worse for wear. Should be able to make a good play. Mindhiden and Bandit are going to be tagged down as well there. So we have a pretty even fight that should be starting relatively soon. Only a minute left on the clock, and the Saints, they're going to have to force the action. They've done a lot of info gathering. There's not a lot of playing off it yet. Blunt is playing with fire, though, trying to stay alive here.
Still on that upper level is the... just sitting there waiting their time. Trongo going to get cut down as well. Shots going down. I think they know exactly where he is, just about when they're going to take advantage of it. Nezzy going to take down Spookito. Blanc still a sliver of health going to be taken down through that wall. Hide with a great angle. Going to be able to find that last one, and the smoke grenades now coming down. Just going to be doing that burn damage over time. Going to be so difficult to deal with that. And Zerky just trying to find any way onto this site. Going to be so difficult. 20 seconds left in a 1v4 situation. Yeah, those smoke grenades just going to prevent him from really getting anywhere onto that site.
Yeah, nothing sadder than a Thatcher or a Thermite without his Thatcher. Just caught all alone here, down to a 1v4. Not really a whole lot of play to make. Maybe going to try to rush in, find this pick, find this entry. Smoke, though, perfectly timing. He's just going to save. Zerky's going to save for next round.
Hey, you got a pick?
Joking, can't save. He did get a pick, though, trying to find a little momentum, maybe try to get on the board in some capacity. But Kennesaw State basically just going to stall out St. Clair the entire round. They find a couple picks. Saints, though, not a lot of info, just weren't able to do a whole lot with it. So Kennesaw is going to take that round.
I love that replay, just throwing the smoke grenade down and being like, hey, yeah, you can't get in here. Deal with it. But nonetheless, going to be switching over to the gym there. Different look on the second floor, of course, going to open up that other side of the map. We'll see if they opt to go for a very similar situation. Osa now, option seems to be locked for the time being. We'll see if that ends up staying, but of course, not sure, going to be picked up. Sledge as well for the time being. These can always swap around at the beginning of that round, but the Alibi coming back, always going to be nice and fun to see that one come through.
Yeah, Alibi, if I had to bet money, is going to play top side garage or somewhere in the basement and just sit behind the shield with the decoy as per usual. Viable strategy as old as time since the character came out, so expecting to see that kind of play. The Saints, once they get some info on which operators the Kennesaw is running, they should get exactly what they need. They'll be able to make some kind of counter play. They figured out the counter play on Cave, but Clubhouse, whole different animal. You gotta set up for so many different angles. Playing in that garage can always be extremely tricky as well. It's good to see that the teams are willing to switch up this early and this often, though.
Yeah, I like to see the sort of diversity of the agents. Maybe without Legion last round, not really doing too much in that regard, but still not a bad round overall coming through from all of the members in that sense. But now, of course, we see a little bit of a switch up on the opposite side. The Osa going to come through, so a little bit different. I mean, 5 seconds to go. Who's abandoned that first map?
Osa? No.
No, she wasn't. It was misremembering at this point. But nonetheless, a little bit of a different look overall from the side of the Saints, looking for whatever they can to sort of break this stronghold that Kennesaw sort of set up. Last round, they really couldn't get any sort of ground. They didn't even get onto that site to find down that diffuser. It was just really good zone control coming through.
Yeah, Kennesaw just did a good job of out-patienting the Saints, out-waiting them, playing the waiting game. They did a good job of it, not over-aggressing for those frags, taking what was given to them, and then trying to play off that as well. And the Saints going to look to try to flip this one back on its head. Kennesaw holding on to that one-round lead. Saints did take map 1, though, so he's going to try to get on a nice run here, try to get going here, get some of these players online, a couple kills in the pocket, work from it.
You're just sort of moving over to this other side of the map. Seems as if they've read where this bomb is going down as well. You know, with 4 sites, you know, it's a 50-50 at this point, but shield for a little bit. Trying to defend herself against some of these angles. You can see that really tight angle behind and taking a little bit of damage there. Otherwise, just going to keep trying to push through some of these walls whenever they can.
Yeah, gonna ping out that castle. Gonna get tagged up there. Blunk gonna go back to the retrigger. Still gonna fight. Alibi. Gonna shoot the alibi clone. No damage will be done and safe. Still gonna be on the outside of this building, so gonna be safe for the time being. Zerky is gonna get tagged down. Is gonna find the kill on Sotera though. Look, you have to look through this clone. Knows one's coming. Trying to find the headshot. Not gonna quite get there. So that alibi will stand. Zerky also standing at literally 1 HP right now.
Yeah, so difficult for Zerky there, especially since they have that diffuser. But, you know, you've got vision on the site here, just really trying to find an angle to get Zerky in here at the very least, or maybe pass the diffuser off to the next one. Frag Grenade is now coming down to try and clear out any space that they can. This alibi clone is just really annoying, but Pira, great grenade going to come through to find a double. Bunk. Close.
Close, but no cigar. Grenade did not go exactly where planned. They're going to send that one to the back corner. Try to maybe get Kennesaw scrambling on that backside. The Saints do have a 5v3 or a 5v, I guess, you know, or no, 4.9 to 3 if you want to go that way, or to 2. Akira, though, is going to find their second kill of the round here. Mind hiding going to be the one to fall there. The Saints 5v2 advantage. They're going to have to make some kind of play. This is a round you have to have.
That Congo going to fall as well. Zerky looking for any angle in here. Finally will draw Bonzen on this angle, holding it so tightly, but not at the very least, you know, 1 or 2 shots down, exactly what's going to happen on the flip side. Now Kira looking for any angle that they can. You want to put the diffuser down at this point. You've got 30 seconds left. Really just comes down to if Spookido can hold the line. They get a couple of shots off, not able to land anything. Kira's planting that diffuser. Unable to spot that out, so Spookido's going to let it go down at the very least. And now the timer is on. You can see immediately retreating off is the side of the Saints, and now all down to Spookido if he can hold the line, if he can get this diffuse off in time.
Yeah, he's got 30 seconds to play with. Got info. Kira going to be tagged down low. Pros don't fake. Will he end up sticking his diffuser? Gonna stick it. Bullets are gonna rain through. Luckily, Nezzy gonna shut that one down. The Saints cut that one real close, but they will shut down that round. Even things up at 2, but man, that was a little close for comfort.
Yeah, for sure. You can see just there's someone on that bottom level who wasn't able to quite find that angle. There was another person. The 2v1 situation just plays out so well because, you know, you have no choice but to just try and stick it, try and catch him off guard. If you're in a 1v1, you have a little bit more agency to fake it and look for the repeat the angle, but nonetheless ends up going the way of the Saints. They're 2-2 here. 2 more rounds on this side before we swap over, and really curious to see if St. Clair could sort of even out this hat, make it a 3-3, try and flip the map around and see what their defense has in store. Nonetheless, once again, very similar agents or operators to what we've been seeing, at least on the attacking side. Once again, a little bit of a switch up. Jaeger's going to come through on that defense now.
Yeah, Jaeger, a staple. Not too surprising. I think Spookido did play the Jaeger one of the other rounds over. Yeah, they're still swapping around a little bit, but going to play a couple of the same operators here. Going to send Ela back into this storage crate underneath basement, set up those Grizz mods, maybe put down the deployable shield as well, and either rat down there or try to set up the teammates otherwise. Saints, we're going to see the Lion coming up for Nezzy, so maybe going to try to get some infill gathering, try to catch Kennesaw, maybe rotating, get those hard pings, unless he does end up swapping back to maybe the Zofia. Maybe Kira going to go off that sledge to the Zofia again, just trying to get a read for the utility and what might be the most useful here.
Yeah, just slowly setting up, hiding their angles. You know, you can even see through the ceiling. There's some debris falling down, some holes being punched through as well. But nonetheless, we'll have to find out how the side of the Saints want to play this out. Once again, these alibis are going to be very difficult to deal with. Every single time I feel like the Saints end up falling for at least 1 or 2 of them. Oh my goodness. Wow. What a shot to open this up.
That's the second time Bonzen found a spawn peak right away. Going to be on that SMG as well. So beautiful job finding the angle, taking out one of the Saints. And that's going to be, I don't remember, I think it was the Habana. Yeah, Habana getting shut down. That's not going to be good because you still have Ace, but That's going to take away a huge portion of your ability to entry, to breach. You can still use the Lion to try to set up some picks. You still have the Sledge, but it's going to be a lot harder of a time now. Having a Bonafall is one of those ops you really want to keep alive, at least until you get onto site. Kenzie, though, is going to find the kill into Bond, so going to answer back there for that first blood. Tira, going to get the Sledge going, going to get that drone popped out as well, so going to try to find some play now. The Saints at least being able to even it up.
And now the Sledge is going to come in on high value because, I don't know, that camera first, but nonetheless, you're just able to blast through this floor and get a vibe for where that bomb site is. Yep, exactly there, but just going to be dropped immediately. Going to be really difficult to pick this one up because you know that there's someone holding that angle as well.
Crawl.
You're just going to scoot yourself over to Trongo on a little bit of a different angle and hope that there's no one peeking out that door there. I think they've got more than enough space, so we'll be able to pick up the Sledge at the very least, and we'll see if they're able to get any more value out of that because, of course, Resin with that basically one-shot potential, going to be difficult to hold it, but Trongo's great angle, landing some shots, but nonetheless, Kira's still going to fall.
Yeah, the C4 through the floor is a classic one in Rainbow Six. It's one of the most satisfying plays to make. Kennesaw does have the 4v3. They're aware of that top side push coming. Honestly, no team, unless they're kind of crazy, usually pushes that backside storage where Ela's sitting up there. If they do, they got a Grismot and Ela to deal with as well. They don't want to go in there. They're going to have to try to play for this backside, play from the top down, but they are missing Sledge and they're missing Habana, so they are pretty limited on their breaching options. Lion, as I said, they're going to have to play off this line and find picks off of it. Otherwise, they're going to have a hard time winning this round. Xaren with a cheeky little angle there.
Yeah, once again, just 3-4 pixel width there, trying to find anything that they can, and it's just such a slow burn. Kennesaw, they have a 1-man advantage, but you feel like they have, 2 or 3 at this point because of how much they're stifling out the options from the Saints. Just Util being burned back and forth. Again, we get down to 35 seconds. Are they going to be able to get through this floor? Are they going to be able to get down the stairs, look for anything?
Nope.
Gonna be another pick as Zerky, last one left alive, doesn't even have the diffuser this time around. Are they saving again? Oh, they're able to pick up the diffuser. Let's see what they can do.
He doesn't have a diffuser, but he has heart and determination and sheer will, and he will try to find this 4v1. He's going to have to deal with it one by one, though. He's going to get spotted out as well. Camera there. Not looking good. 11 seconds. 4 members breathing down. They will find the kill, so Tara going to be the one to finish things off. Kennesaw going to go back in the lead here, taking that 3-2.
Of course, last round on this attack, you really want to see St. Clair sort of hold the line here, even out the half. Once again, this is exactly how their Cafe attacking side went, 3-3, tied it up, and they were able to hold it on the defense with the extra round. We'll see if they can sort of recreate that. Thatcher seems to be sort of the main consistent here. If they try and pull out any sort of crazy strategies on this last round, Tonka getting covered as well on the defensive side for the time being. This all going to get locked in.
Capitao would be pretty fun to watch, not going to lie. I'm kind of hoping they lock it in. They are going to lock it in, at least for the time being. We can always get hit with the old switcheroo after the droning phase, but we are going to see our Lord Tachanka coming through on the defensive side. So he has received, I believe, 1 or 2 reworks over his time. You can now walk around with the LMG. There's a bunch of different ways that kit works, not just like a spray and pray, sit down in one room meta anymore. So beautiful job to see that swap. I hope this Capitao does stay. Those who don't know Capitao, you shoot smoke and you shoot fire arrows. Very, very interesting kit. I know, not exactly what you'd expect having watched these last couple games so far, but that is a character that you don't see, I don't think, too often. He definitely has his spots on certain maps because those arrows can be lethal and deadly. He came out, he was one of the original DLC operators as well, so Capitao, been in the game for a long time. Nice to see him get some rub here. Only 5 seconds left, and looks like no offensive swaps with the Saints.
We're going to see that followed through on there. Of course, you can see Chonka is going to be a big, beefy boy just trying to hold as much space as possible. Basically, just hold wherever he is. That's his space.
Yeah.
At that. And you want to just try to hold that down for as long as possible. The attacking side going to be opening up here. Curious to see one of these angles are going to come through. No working for the time being. Once again, going to be a slower open, and Ubisoft giving us the good old 5v4 bug.
Oh, of course. Every single time. I think it happened last time. One time we had him on stream as well. Thatcher going to find these EMPs ready. Bandit is going to try to land a trick there. They're going to pop. They're going to immediately go with that ace there. They're going to try to get the follow. Bandit, they're going to get the trick in time. They will. Beautiful job. So Terra has been so good at timing these Bandit tricks the last couple rounds. The Saints are going to maybe give it one more go here. Maybe they're going to wait a few seconds. Look at Bandit. You can see him keep replacing it over and over again. You see the little crouch animation through the wall. He's trying to wait for that Thatcher to come out. He's going to set the trick again. Hold that second nade. They're going to try to get the ace going here. Maybe a little bit late there. Not going to be able to find it. And Nezzy is going to end up falling as well. So the Saints still not able to breach through that Bandit trick. And they are going to have their Sophia fall as well.
Speaking of those fire arrows just coming down. Just doing what he can, at the very least, not really able to get too much success. They're finally able to breach that wall, but at what cost? It is the Capitao fallen as well. Now, you're in a little bit of a tricky situation. 2 members down. You know where the bomb site is, but at the very least, it's not going to be an easy pickup there. Coming down the Claymore outside just to cover their angles at the very least.
Yeah, watch that flank, especially when you get this 5v3 advantage. We call that the roamer, or roaming in Siege. Someone's going to just barrel out of the front door. You get hard pinged on radar after, I believe, 1 or 2 seconds, but as long as you're able to find that frag, get back in the window or the door, wherever you came out of, it's going to be a net positive for your team. A little bug piece of texture there in that wall. I promise you, not going to block any bullets, just, visually, Ubisoft hitting us with a little nice moment there. Saints, though, as you said, down to this 5v3. They were finally able to get through the wall, but it did cost them 2 lives. It cost them 2 minutes off the clock, and their options are now severely limited. A lot of those Capitao arrows are going to have been burned as well. Actually, he's going to be dead as well, so the Saints trying to go off minimal utility here. They're going to have to find picks, but 50 seconds left. They're going to be running into an absolute buzzsaw.
Going to be so difficult, especially since the Tachanka can just now move over right up to that bomb site, just hold any angle that they want with the LMG. They're able to accomplish. You can just see all this fire coming down as well. Just trying to blow any holes that they can on the wall, trying to find any sort of crazy angles, trying to pre-fire these angles as well. But it just seems as if they're stifled at every single step. A little bit of a shot coming down for Kier, taking what? 3 damage? Not a little.
Just a little feel-up touch there.
Here they go.
Fire's going to be down. Oh,
yeah.
So Terra instantly finding the headshot on that SMG-11. Kennesaw looking pretty primed and ready to take this round off the Saint Zerky, trying to dig it back in 1 by 1 here. Beautiful shot there, just being held that angle perfectly. And Spooky Toe is going to find 2. And the Saints down 4-2.
Yeah, really difficult last couple of rounds there for the Saints. They really weren't able to get any sort of momentum going back their way. Kennesaw State, as they have been able to stand tall on that defensive half, and now really comes down to if St. Clair can have a better defensive half at that. Curious to see what sort of agents or operators they pull out in that regard. Man, this
we need like the counter of the graphic ding whenever.
Yeah, whenever I say agent or whatever, like a champion is pretty easy to avoid, but agent, that one's the hard one.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, you can see Mute gonna come through. No castle this time around, but the Tachanka gonna be covered. Maestro is an option as well. Smoke definitely going to come through for Zerky. It feels as if they're quite confident on that. We saw that on the last map as well on Cafe.
Smoke is still one of the most consistent defensive ops in the game, too. So if you see him locked, there's a very, very fat chance he's going to get swapped off there. We are going to see the Ana, the Bandit. So we're going to see that Bandit trick probably in a similar spot. Ooh, Bandit going to be switched over, actually. Make this, not Bandit, IQ. The yellow emblem's always best. If it's IQ switching on to Thatcher, I was going to say Bandit does not play offense. So that wouldn't make any sense. Kennesaw now on the offensive side. Again, Habana Sledge, pretty standard fare. Saints having their own adaptation here. They're going to run the Omai and the Malusi. So a little different idea from Kennesaw. Ultimately, though, it comes down to execution. Who's going to be able to find those plays? Kennesaw just eking out the Saints so far.
Very curious to see how they'll play this one out, of course. It's going to be in that site, CCTV, I believe it is, and hold at that angle for the time. Zerky just blowing some holes just to be able to get a couple more angles there. Curious to see how this plays out, of course. Snap, it really came down to Blanc and Kierbonk really being able to carry the load there. This time around, Blanc having a little bit of a slower start to this one. Of course, Zerky able to pick up scraps there, but nonetheless, Hayden always on point here, and Vonzen coming in off the bench has been absolutely fantastic for them thus far.
Yeah, I mean, the guy off the bench has been finding all these entry frags. Yeah, I think he's found 2 or 3 spawn picks as well, so he is fitting in beautifully for this team so far. Been a thorn in the Saints side, no less. Thatcher and Thermite are going to try to get going here. First Thermite charge is actually going to end up getting through, it looks like, as well. So, Kennesaw State, maybe can get a little bit of entry, possibly be able to get some more info out of that. They will try to slowly work their way toward these sites and pick apart the Saints defense.
He's still, for the time being, no push quite yet. We saw Kennesaw State really falling back onto that sort of 45-second matter. They like to wait and bide their time before they look for these entries. And you can see holding a lot of angles for the side of Saints. If anything, they're the ones who are getting a little bit antsy here, just trying to find anything they can.
Yeah, getting antsy can be a good and bad thing in Siege, because sometimes it's unexpected, but sometimes you're inting, and sometimes it doesn't work out, and you might try it one too many times, and especially in a game where having a 5v5, one member meaning everything, especially if you still have utility able to use. You don't want to get taken out of the round too early. Blanc going to get flashed out there on that top side balcony and garage. That gun looks extremely wacky. We have that AUG trying to find the kill there on the ACOG. Gonna get tagged down very low. That garage got flooded by Kennesaw members. They were easily able to dispatch a Blunk there. And now they hold the numbers advantage, and they will try to make this push.
Yeah, there's a 3-2-1 peek, if anything, there.
Yeah,
the
pretty
flash
much.
comes down. You can see 3 people swarming in there. Now picking up that diffuser. We'll try and push up this garage effectively. And we saw it in the first round from the Saints. They were really effective at just sort of coming from multiple different angles here. Still a 4v5, so there's still a lot of angles that the Saints can hold here, but nonetheless, losing that first kill going to be a little bit difficult. And find anything. Of course, that one softball on the outside there. Will it be broken through? What is Kennesaw State trying to do here?
Yeah, they're trying to just maybe slowly put the pressure on the Saints here, then all collapse at the same time. We are at that 45-second mark now. I expect to see some action sooner than later here. Nezzy trying to hold the fort down here. Not going to find any damage quite yet. Does have that cheeky little kneecap angle. Going to try to kneecap some of the Kennesaw members here, just trying and waiting, seeing if you can find that pick. It's going to be another Saint falling. It's going to be a couple of Saints falling there. They're going to find a few kills there. And Saren is going to pick up that res too. So they're going to have 5 members still stacked up. It's going to be 3 on the round for Mindhide. It's going to be 4. Has the quad. Only 1 to go. All on to Kira. Seeing if they can somehow swing this round back. Mindhide looking for that ace though. And he is going to find it. Ace for Mindhide. And Kennesaw takes, I believe, their 5th or 6th round. They're there, starting to really put the pressure on Saints.
And what a great round for Mindhide. And just able to find everything that they wanted in that half. And now trying on a different site, it seems, for the time being. You can see the teammates
supporting teammates.
Pushing each other up there, but really well played from Mindhide in that entire round. Just really taking the wind out of St. Clair's sails and just, able to pick up a lot of that, even fighting through that smoke at the very last second. Oh my goodness.
It's like the most wholesome, crap talk. It's not even like crap talk. It's very wholesome, but it's funny nonetheless. All right, so both teams, we are going to see a few adaptations. I believe we saw the Valkyrie coming through for the Saints, so maybe trying to get that early info gather, trying to get that first blood. Kennesaw has done a really good job of when they find that early advantage, they rarely throw it. I'm not sure they've thrown one of those big man advantages yet this game, so they're playing a super clean second half of these rounds. Saints have to find some way to disrupt that flow and get back in this one.
He's still talking to each other. It's nice to see these teams, just talking, having a good conversation.
Well, listen, you have like a minute and a half to talk before the actual round starts. So yeah, they got all the time in the world.
Let's be real, yeah, especially with the 45-second meta, the 30-second meta, with some of these, you got a lot of time to go with that. Nonetheless, you can see them slowly sort of bearing down on this site.
Yeah.
Setting up their defenses, barricading themselves up, trying to make this as safe as possible here. Nonetheless, wire getting put down as well. Bomb going to try and be the aggressor here, I feel like. Wants to try and find an early pick before anyone's able to get down here onto his bottom floor.
Yeah, and I don't hate that idea. With the Saints haven't really tried to go for that early pick defensively. Maybe Kira's going to make the read here.
Whoa.
Is going to make the read. Beautiful play to find that spawn peak. Heard that window get broken. Heard the rappel go up. Finds that first blood. Exactly what the doctor ordered for St. Clair. Putting these Jagger traps up, making sure those nades can't come in through the ceiling or on that backside spawn. Just now, play defense, hunker down, and don't get picked is the name of the game.
Yeah, and I mean, especially when you get that early pick in a round, it takes a lot of the wind out of the sails, especially when it's Mindhide, just came off of an ace and unfortunately gets a little bit too greedy going through that window. Kira is able to take advantage of that, but for the time being, holding the angles once again. 2 minutes to go. As he checking the cameras, making sure no one's doing anything crazy. You can see the drones flying around as well, just trying to get any information. I don't believe they spotted out the bomb site yet, so they're not 100% sure of where it is. But of course, when there's only 3 options at this point, you get a pretty good idea of where it is, just about bringing your sledge through if you've got one. They do not have in this situation, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult to break through that ceiling. Yeah, they have the Zofia, so they will have and the Ace, so they will have the ability to do it at least. But yeah, having the sledge, you can just spam it basically. Just keep whacking that hammer at the floor. And as you said, they didn't spot the bombs though. But when you start on the 3rd floor, you just walk down those staircases until you finally find the bombs. They are going to be in this bottom room arsenal basement. The Saints still just holding serve. Honestly, exactly how they should be playing it. You shouldn't be risking for these picks. Nezzy going to get caught out there. Going to be stuck behind. Here is going to find that kill. Beautiful job to get the swap, find the kill onto Nezzy. Now into a 4v4, 65 seconds left to play. One of these teams is going to have to blink, and we'll have to see which team it will be. Yeah, Von's doing a good job of finding a pick once again, but here they go, dropping that utility.
A little early for that, maybe.
A little bit unfortunate timing there on CollegiateR, just getting caught out by that, but still holding this area for the time being. Blanc chilling out in the room. You can see that ceiling did get broken through. You can see, I believe that's the Thatcher chargers coming down as well, so just really trying to take out any util if they can.
Yeah, they did find that C4 kill through the floor, though I believe it was, I think Trongo or Blanc there. So it was a beautiful job. They did find that C4 kill. Now, 3 Kennesaw members left, 35 seconds to play. Kira gonna get on this drone and try to find some information as well. Looks like the Saints, assuming they're able to hold this, they should be in pretty good shape. They're gonna get a couple tags there on Xaren. They're gonna find a lot of shots here at Kennesaw, starting to panic just a little bit. Zerky gonna get tagged down a bit. Blanc trying to find the angle. Will get spotted out by Spookito, though. Now the Saints 3v3 diffuser close to the site here. They're gonna have to find these frags. This could go anybody's way at this point. The Saints trying to play the guessing game. Spookito trying to figure out which member of the Saints. He is still hard marked on camera, though. Kira's gonna find that kill. Gonna find yet another one. Diffuser is gonna get planted, but Kira's gonna shut it down for a third of the round, and the Saints will take this one.
And Kira's aggression off the top of that round really setting the pace for that, just giving them a constant advantage throughout that round. They'll get that. They will disable the diffuser. Yeah, it's backwards. You know, you're diffusing and then you're undifusing.
Yeah, it's like the team or whatever, the team that's in the house first has a bomb plant, like the terrorists, or like the so to speak. They planted the bomb first, so yeah, going to defuse the bomb. Saints needed to get that round back. They would have been facing map point. It would have been 6-2, which is not the good optics for the situation. They are going to get that one back. Try to snowball into this game again. Might see the Frost get locked in. We're going to see a lot of defense here. Smoke, Frost, Castle, Mutant, Jaeger. What an OG 5 from Seas. That is a beautiful thing to see. Going to see Habana, Sledge, Yana, Thatcher, Thermites. Yeah, this map we're going to see a whole lot of the same operator pool, which is, I mean, to be expected though.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been working. The attacking side has gotten some pretty good looks there. I mean, even on defense as well, you know. So, you know, pretty much the same agents over and over again there. Nonetheless, I think that Kennesaw, they really want to try and get that momentum back in their favor. I think that's really been the trend of this game, you know. It's just been one win for the Saints. Every once in a while, they're interjecting effectively, where it's been Kennesaw picking up 2 or 3 in a row every single time. And if history is to dictate, Kennesaw really looking to try and win this round, finish this map off, and go towards at that. But nonetheless, tell Saints what they can and can't do. They've always shown to be a resilient team, and especially considering their record over the last couple of weeks, last month or so since we last saw them. They've been on a hot streak. They want to continue that trend.
Yeah, and as we said, playoffs are coming up in a couple weeks. All these games mean a ton. They're fighting to maybe take Kennesaw's spot in that top 10 rankings. And from what they said a lot of people were counting them out this series, so they're looking to turn some heads, make some noise in the CR6 scene here. They still got some work to do on Clubhouse, though. They're sitting down to a 2-round deficit. Kennesaw has played extremely clean this time. And yeah, Mindheiden, at least they were able to play his aggression into finding a pick on him last round. I don't suspect he'll make the same mistake twice. The Saints will have to be ready for any scenario, though. We're going to send him into this top side, bust up these hatches, and try to draw some attention away.
Yep, we got the sled back there, so going to be able to break through some of these floors, any of these walls and everything, just blast through them and see what they can do. You know, locating the bomb site right away, really difficult, especially since that sledge is just on the other side of that window. Already being able to spot that out really puts the pressure on Zerky, already dropping in this round. Trongo trying to hold whatever angles they can. So tough, because it just feels like everyone's closing in around you.
Yeah, that's kind of how the game is. Yeah, you feel like you're slowly being squeezed as util starts to fade away. They start to kind of start to breach the walls, the hatches start to fall. Then you look at around the room, and there's no room left. It's all just debris and walls that have been cut down. Kennesaw does have that man advantage early on. They did shut down that smoke as well, so that's great post plant shutdown. Trongo with a little cheeky angle, but not sure if he's going to be able to find anything off that one. That's going to be a tricky angle to cut either way. Blanc holding behind these shields. A whole lot of the Saints just trying to hold these angles right now.
Yeah, still just sort of abiding their time. They don't want to engage too quickly. CollegiateR actually going to spot someone out as well. That's some really unfortunate timing on that. Spookito now try and break through some of these walls. Another kill picked up by Mindheiden. Every single time Mindheiden is able to pop off, get 2, get 3. Wow. Another one picked up for Mindheiden. This sledge is looking so unstoppable. I need a miracle at this point. It's not going to be another ace for Mindheiden, but it will be 4.
A measly 4K.
A measly. You know, we've seen better out of you, Mindheiden. All jokes aside, great round once again from Kennesaw State as they get onto map point. My goodness, this series is going to be going down to the wire, it feels, at this point, because Kennesaw State, they've really got their momentum in their favor.
Yeah, forget the operator matchups, forget the maps. Maybe if you kill Mindheiden, that's your win condition. Maybe just kill the carry. The rest of Kennesaw has been supporting him beautifully, but we saw those last couple frags. That was all mechanically gifted. Turns, burns, finds a couple there, making the right play at the right time, knowing when to swing. We're going to see the same kind of comp. We're going to see the Twitch coming out this time, so always a nice sight for sore eyes. Twitch on that F2, going to be always a solid attacking operator. Going to see a pretty similar ride from the Saints there. As you said, though, they are on map point. We could be looking at a potential third map over on Villa. The Saints, though, trying to bring this one back and force this one to overtime. But they have a lot of work to do, and there is a man named Mine in their way, ready to stop them.
Mine y'all near Brampton?
He was asking if they were Canadian.
Yeah, and
he's from BC. Yeah.
Why is Brampton the first thing?
I don't know. Listen, honestly, now I'm a little suspicious of Mine asking about Brampton right away. But nonetheless, the guy can play some Siege. 17 kills already through 9 rounds. Getting 2 kills around in Siege is elite level stuff.
Oh, 100%. You can tell that Mine, even on the first map, was one of the better players on either side there, of course. It was a big performance from Blanc, a big performance from Clair. Clair still, carrying Saints, trying to pull him up by the bootstraps out of that. Blanc, unfortunately, not having the same performance as last time, but will just come down to the next couple of rounds. Isn't over till it's over. The Terra taking out those cameras, now we're figuring it out as it comes along, but nonetheless, same typical comp coming through. His sledge has just been so annoying, such a thorn in the side, especially in the hands of Mine, because he'll break through your walls, and then he'll get 3 kills, and then he'll break through all the rest of your walls.
Yeah, Thor's got nothing on Sledge. This Sledge packs a wall up, able to just drop hatches. As I said, you just break the hatch and run away like nothing happened, and you leave it to mystery. You're not sure when we're going to push. Thermite is going to drop that charge there. They should be able to bust through this one. No bandit to trick this one up. They are going to easily breach that front wall, and Nezzy is going to get first blooded there. So that F2 on Twitch immediately finding value.
Yeah, Vonzen has been really good at finding these entry frags. It's another one picked up here. I believe that was Mine. Will they be able to get to 20 across this map? That's the real question at this point. They're sort of achievement hunting at that. Nonetheless, I believe they've spotted out that bomb site. Another thermite charge going to come through as well. Other side of that wall going to be blasted open, and I immediately see them just crawling away, just trying to hide it in there.
No, he went down actually from the thermite charge. Yeah, a little too close to the sun there. Vonson going to find another kill. That F2 is still one of the most deadly guns in the game. Even after a couple nerfs, that F2 has been disgusting for years and years. Nice to see it get brought out here. Vonson now going to be in that double-digit frag. I mean, this guy was, quote-unquote, a substitution. It'll be a flawless Mine ending that game with the frag grenade. So, Vonson stepping in, playing beautifully as, say, quote-unquote, substitute. That was not what we call substitute level play. That guy popped off the entire game. We see Nine doing some tricks with the hammer. Gonna swing it one time for the fences there. He played beautifully. 6.5k score. I think 18 frags by the end of the game. Did such a good job. 19. Oh my goodness. 20 kills in the game of Siege is one of those where you have that game and you're like, man, that's like your best game for weeks and weeks, and able to pull that off in map 2 against the Saints. And now we're going to be heading over to Villa.
Yeah, curious to see how Villa is going to turn out because, of course, backs up against the wall, momentum in favor of Kennesaw State now. And, of course, nonetheless, we were expecting it to be a close matchup, but my goodness, we are coming down to the wire at this one. And I think overall, Saints have had an admirable performance. We've seen them do really well, especially on Cafe Cave to open it up there, of course. Always. But even still on Clubhouse, they had their flashes of brilliance there. I mean, we saw some really good plays from Kira just to be able to find those opening frags, drop a 3K in there as well. I think overall Kira's just really done what they can to try and bring this team. But of course, it comes down to what your 5-man squad can do at the end of the day. And that map, while Kennesaw had a great performance coming through from Manhattan, there was still so many other strong performers there, and it's going to come down to this last map. Who can hold on for dear life to an extent? Because late into the night here, we're getting into a Saturday morning stream at this point.
Exactly. I got extra life tomorrow to worry about everything. I got a bunch of stuff going on, but the Saints, as we said, we're going to be over to map 3 Villa. And honestly, I think it comes down to the Saints just seem to avoid getting that first blood taken against them. They seem to drop a member too early in a lot of these rounds, and it kind of bites them a little later on when they need that utility, whether it's the Thatcher dropping early, having the sledge dropped as well. You're losing a huge part of your kit there as a team. They do a little bit better job to, maybe at least get a trade if it's going to happen, because we saw Vonzen get 3 or 4 spawn peaks that game as well. So, with that being said, though, I think we are getting ready to throw it to a very, very quick break between map 2 and map 3 here. 1-1 series, 2 teams sitting at 4-1, fighting for a spot to move up the top 10. We'll catch you guys after the break. Definitely stack up these rounds.
And you can just see sort of the angles being held here. Sapera trying to find anything that they can, but 4v2 situation. At the same time, it's all about these numbers. Sapera with that diffuser, what's going to happen? They're getting burned down here just a little bit by the environmental teams. Well, look at that. Flipping around, 2 kills on their own, looking for a little bit more, but Zerky going to be able to Sapera back up on my hide and immediately going to go down. Spookito as well, all in a row. Nezzy on a triple kill here. My goodness, it's down to 1. And
Nezzy finds 4 in the flawless. Wow. When it was seemingly not going to be a play, he's going to pop off in this kitchen, in this freezer area. 4 members of Kennesaw are going to fall on the sword there. That could definitely be a problem. Kira holding his headshot angle. Perfect timing by Maidenhead to pick that kill up. The Saints are going to have to move, though. 3 seconds. One going to bring it to a 3v1. Diffuser is going down now, so they are going to buy that time bonus. But he's down to a 2v1. Maidenhead versus the world. And he is good.
Headshot, that's all you need from all these angles being held. Exactly what's going to happen. Maidenhead has just been so sure with those shots thus far. Look at this angle. Just you get
I thought they nerfed this gun 3 years ago. It still does that, huh?
All right, the shot's going to come down. Not quite yet. There it is, 4v1. They got to look for this defuse right now, though.
Yep, not needed. Kira finding 2 kills at the end there. Beautiful job by the Saints. They played it really, really close time-wise once more, and it always gets a little bit sticky when you're, relying for that last trying to start to the squeeze on Kennesaw. Air jab going to be dropped from the stairs. Beautiful angle by Blanc, finding the swing on red there. He's going to find that kill. Saints now with the early advantage. What are they able to do with it, though?
See, just sort of grouping up this time, playing together as a team, trying to find any sort of trades possible because they know they got that man advantage once again. Maidenhead, one of the 3 people who really popped off for the side of Kennesaw with Congo, taking a couple of shots. You can see Blanc fire anything that they can do on that angle. You see the alibi, you know exactly what it is.
Oh, beautiful.
Goodness.
Grenade. Oh.
See how many people have set up there. Oh, great shots.
Yeah, there's one. Has 3 more to go here. And going to be taken out by Trongo. Saints. Another beautiful attacking round. Finding that kill onto Xarin in the backside of that shield was honestly the catalyst. He was basically locking down that entire room for like the last 3 or 4 rounds of Saints.
Yeah, it's just going to be 5v1. It is only Spookito. Is there even going to get rezzed up? But the defuse should be put down. Spookito looking for the shots. Able to find another one there. Down to the sidearm, though. Will they be able to clutch it out? No, that will not be the case. And Saints going to be able to take map 1.
Yeah, they told Spookito, Halloween was last week, brother. You're not pulling that one in a 5v1. They are going to shut that one down. Saints, beautiful job. Exactly what to play with on info. Kira going to be tagged down low.
Uh-oh.
Pros don't fake. Will he end up sticking his diffuser? Going to stick it. Bullets are going to rain through. Luckily, Nezzy going to shut that one down. The Saints cut that one real close, but they will shut down that round. Even things up at 2, but man, that was a little close for comfort. Gonna find 2, and the Saints down 4-2.
Yeah, really difficult last couple of rounds there for the Saints. They really weren't able to get any sort of momentum going back their way. Kennesaw State, as they have been able to stand tall on that defensive half, and now it really comes down to if St. Clair can have either.
Just trying and waiting, seeing if he can find that pick. It's going to be another Saint falling. It's going to be a couple of Saints falling there. They're going to find a few kills there. And Saren is going to pick up that prize too. So they're going to have 5 members still stacked up. It's going to be 3 on the round for Maidenhead. It's going to be 4. Has the quad. Only 1 to go. All on to Kira. Seeing if they can somehow swing this round back. Maidenhead looking for that ace though. And he is going to find it. Ace for Maidenhead. And Kennesaw takes, I believe, their 5th or 6th round. They're there starting to really put the pressure on the Saints. Man, I don't hate that idea. But the Saints haven't really tried to go for that early pick defensively. Maybe Kira's going to make the read here. Is going to make the read. Beautiful play to find that spawn peak. Heard though by Spookito though. Now the Saints 3v3 diffuser close to the site here. They're going to have to find these frags. This could go anybody's way at this point. The Saints trying to play the guessing game. Spookito trying to figure out which member of the Saints. He is still hard marked on camera though. Kira's going to find that kill. Going to find yet another one. Diffuser is going to get planted. But Kira's going to shut it down for a 1/3 of the round. And the Saints will take this one.
Spookito now try and break through some of these walls. Another kill picked up by Maidenhead. Every single time Maidenhead is just able to pop off, get 2, get 3. Wow. Another one picked up for Maidenhead, and this sledge is looking so unstoppable. I need a miracle at this point. It's not going to be another ace for Maidenhead, but it will be 4.
A measly 4K.
A measly. We've seen better out of you, Maidenhead. All jokes aside, great round once again from Kennesaw State as they get onto map point. Blasted open, and immediately see them just crawling away, just trying to hide it in here.
No, he went down actually from the thermite charge. Yeah, a little too close to the sun there. Bonson's going to find another kill. That F2 is still one of the most deadly guns in the game, even after a couple nerfs. That F2 has been disgusting for years and years. Nice to see it get brought out here. Bonson now going to be in that double-digit frag rate. I mean, this guy was quote-unquote a substitution. It'll be a flawless Maidenhead ending that game with the frag grenade. So Bonson stepping in, playing beautifully as, I'd say, quote-unquote, subtly stack up these rounds.
And you can just see sort of the angles being held here. CollegiateR6 trying to find anything that they can, but, a 4v2 situation. At the same time, it's all about these numbers. CollegiateR6 with that diffuser, what's going to happen? They're getting burned down here just a little bit by the environmental teams. Well, look at that. Flipping around, 2 kills on their own, looking for a little bit more, but Zerky going to be able to Yes, the Terra back up, but Hyden immediately going to go down. Spookito as well, all in a row. Nezzy on a triple kill here. My goodness, it's down to 1. And
Nezzy finds 4 in the flawless. Wow, when it was seemingly not going to be a play, he's going to pop off in this kitchen, in this freezer area. 4 members of Kennesaw are going to fall on the sword there. That could definitely be a problem. Kira holding his headshot angle. Perfect timing by Maidenheim to pick that kill up. The Saints are going to have to move, though. 3 seconds. One going to bring it to a 3v1. Diffuser is going down now, so they are going to buy that time bonus. But it is down to a 2v1. Maidenheim versus the world. And he is good.
Headshot. That's all you need with all these angles being held. Exactly what's going to happen. Maidenheim has just been so sure with those shots thus far. Look at this angle. Just... you get
I thought they nerfed this gun 3 years ago. It still does that, huh?
Alright, the shot's gonna come down. Not quite yet. There it is, 4v1. They gotta look for this defuse right now, though.
Yep, not needed. Kira finding 2 kills at the end there. Beautiful job by the Saints. They played it really, really close time-wise once more, and it always gets a little bit sticky when you're relying for that last try to start with a squeeze on Kennesaw. Air jab going to be dropped from the stairs. Beautiful angle by Blanc, finding the swing on red there. He's going to find that kill. Saints now with the early advantage. What are they able to do with it, though?
See, just sort of grouping up this time, playing together as a team, trying to find any sort of trades possible because they know they got that man advantage once again. Maidenheim, one of the 3 people who really popped off for the side of Kennesaw with Congo, taking a couple of shots. You can see Blanc fire anything that they can do on that angle. You know, you see the alibi, know exactly what it is.
Oh, beautiful.
Goodness.
Grenade. Oh.
See how many people have set up there. Oh.
Yeah, there's 1. Has 3 more to go here. And going to be taken out by Trongo. Saints, another beautiful attacking round. Finding that kill onto Xtherin in the backside of that shield was honestly the catalyst. He was basically locking down that entire room for the last 3 or 4 rounds of Saints.
Yeah, it's just going to be 5v1. It is only Spookito. Is there even going to get rezzed up? And
Good guy Blanc.
Should be put down. Spookito looking for the shots. Able to find another one there. Down to the sidearm, though. Will they be able to clutch it out? No, that will not be the case, and Saints going to be able to take map 1.
Yeah, they told Spookito, Halloween was last week, brother. You're not pulling that one in a 5v1. They are going to shut that one down. Saints, beautiful job. Exactly what to play with. On info. Kira going to be tagged down low. Pros don't fake. Will he end up sticking his diffuser? Going to stick it. Bullets are going to rain through. Luckily, Nezzy going to shut that one down. The Saints cut that one real close, but they will shut down that round. Even things up at 2, but man, that was a little close for comfort. To find 2, and the Saints down 4-2.
Yeah, a really difficult last couple of rounds there for the Saints. They really weren't able to get any sort of momentum going back their way. Kennesaw State, as they have been able to stand tall on that defensive half, and now it really comes down to if St. Clair can have either.
Just trying and waiting, seeing if you can find that pick. It's going to be another Saint falling. It's going to be a couple of Saints falling there. They're going to find a few kills there. And Saren is going to pick up that prize too. So they're going to have 5 members still stacked up. It's going to be 3 on the round for Maidenheim. It's going to be 4. Has the quad. Only 1 to go. All on to Kira. Seeing if they can somehow swing this round back. Maidenheim looking for that ace though. And he is going to find it. Ace for Maidenheim. Kennesaw takes, I believe, their 5th or 6th round. They're there starting to really put the pressure on Saints. Yeah, and I don't hate that idea. With the Saints haven't really tried to go for that early pick defensively. Maybe Kira's going to make the read here. Is going to make the read. Beautiful play to find that spawn peak. Heard though by Spookito though. Now the Saints 3v3 diffuser close to the site here. They're going to have to find these frags. This could go anybody's way at this point. The Saints trying to play the guessing game. Spookito trying to figure out which member of the Saints. He is still hard marked on camera though. Kira's going to find that kill. Going to find yet another one. Diffuser is going to get planted. But Kira's going to shut it down for a 1/3 of the round, and the Saints will take this one.
Spookito now try and break through some of these walls. Another kill picked up by Maidenheim. Every single time Maidenheim is able to pop off, get 2, get 3. Another one picked up for Maidenheim. This sledge is looking so unstoppable. I need a miracle at this point. It's not going to be another ace for Maidenheim, but it will be 4.
A measly 4K.
A measly. You know, we've seen better out of you, Maidenheim. All jokes aside. Great round once again from Kennesaw State as they get on. And welcome back, everyone. Late night gaming continues here on the Saints Gaming channel here. Saints did unfortunately drop that map 2, but we are going to map number 3 here, Jobin. Curious to see how this one works out on to Villa. Jackal, of course, going to be banned out once again. The knock taken off the table once again. But let's see what the defensive agent bans are, because we've seen a couple of different options here.
Yeah, we are now into Saturday morning, or technically we've been playing 2 days of Siege now, if you want to go by the statistics there. We are now past midnight. Thank you, everybody who is still tuning in on with us with this ride. The Saints, as you said, 1-1. Nook and Jackal, the first two to fall out of the ban phase. Mira, no surprise. Adam's doing the pose. Mira's gone. We expected to see it, and we will wait to see this next ban. I think it'll be, I'm not sure exactly what we're going to see, because depending on the map, we're definitely going to see the Mira, but interested to see if one of these teams pulls, something out of their sleeve. Some kind of wonky ban. No. Gonna be a zombie. I thought maybe we'd see her one time. She might get through one time, but not gonna be the case.
The pancake's not gonna be going through here, but of course.
It ain't breakfast just yet.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta wait a couple hours for that. Usually you wait till tomorrow for that. No, now we get to count the hours at that, but nonetheless, we'll find out what these comps are gonna be. Of course, that is gonna be Kennesaw State starting on that defensive half, so at the very least, there's gonna be a little bit more potential agency for the side of Saints to show their attacking prowess on this map. Villa, of course, we've seen them on it before. It did not go their way the first time we saw this on stream, but nonetheless, we had to see some of their strats come through, and it really just came down to some of those aim duels. It was really a close match at that. But I start out on that aviator room. Going to be a little bit more difficult because of that verticality once again.
Yeah, and honestly, the last losses, even in the first map when they lost rounds, it just came down to getting outpicked in the early round. They kind of just got picked apart. The first blood would kind of set things up, and then Hidden, like I said, this guy's, we're in true DJ hours, and he is on demon mode. He is taking apart the Saints in that map too. Now, they get a chance to bounce back. Series is on the line here on Villa. As I said, the Saints sitting at 7th in the CR6 standings. Kennesaw sitting at 7th, Saints sitting at 10, so they are trying to usurp them, take that spot. Now, it all comes down to Villa.
Yeah, and of course, this is a Swiss bracket, so, if you're able to find the win, you not only take their spot, but you move up even further as well, up the standings and the like. So we'll have to find out what they're doing, but already a quicker start to this as Vonzen going to get immediately cut down there. I believe that is by Kirabong. Yeah. Kira's done a really good job of setting the pace in a lot of these rounds. When the Saints win, it's Kira picking up 2 or 3 every single time.
Yeah, and taking out the Legion is actually excellent in that early round. You're going to basically, he maybe only got 1 or 2 Goo Mines tops because he had to wait for the recharge. And Vonzen, we knew he was playing that super aggressive early game. As he is going to fall, though, so we are going to fall into that 4v4, but at least you took out Legion. Losing Ashe, not the greatest thing in the world, but you still have Zofia, you still have Ace, you still have Thatcher, you have everything you need to break through these defenses. Taking out that Legion, there's the Goo Mine, that little green poison, and you have to take that thing out of your leg, chuck it on the floor there, as annoying as it gets, and I love to see it.
Look at this work up the stairs, though. Kira not quite going to catch it there. It's actually Spookito on the other side, going to be able to cut down 1. Able to cut down 2. Spookito, great positioning, and despite the early pick, it ends up falling by the wayside. You can see Trongo and Zerky now playing together. It's a must at this point, and now forced to sort of peek this angle because that's exactly where Spookito came from. Yeah,
there's still an alibi somewhere out there. We're going to see Mindhiden over to the alibi now. So X-Saren was mainly playing that alibi before. Now they are going to throw Mindhiden onto that thing, see what he can do with it, see if I was able to pilot that. You're going to see the side of Kennesaw still trying to work away here. This numbers advantage. You do have that 4v2 on the defensive side, which spells probably pretty good round for them, the Saints. They're going to have to find 1 pick at least to try to open things up here, create that space, take some Muto off the map. They are playing the guessing game. Zerky, though, going to find one and not going to take any damage, so great start so far to try to come back here.
And forced to sort of pre-fire all of these angles. This is what the odd man advantage, or disadvantage at least, does for you in this situation, but of course, a minute left on the clock. Find out if they're able to find another pick, because if they are, maybe they have a chance at turning this round around after a disastrous flank up those stairs.
Yeah, luckily they still have Thatcher and one of their breachers, so they are still able to at least make some progress toward these sites. So it actually works out very, very nice for them, and Zerky does have the diffuser. So for all the bad situation, probably the best they could get out of a 2v3 right now, able to make the play, but the play just got significantly harder to make as it's going to be a kill over on Zerky. Now going to be all on Trongo, just a lone man with his diffuser. Trying to find this kill, gonna get a couple tags, but not gonna find anything of value there. Gonna have to try to swing here, create these off angles, find Kennesaw slacking, but they are gonna be armed and dangerous, waiting for this site. Now they're gonna get the info. Bullet spray is gonna go through. Trongo probably knows this round is not gonna be too good. Actually, Mindhiden is gonna be down as well, so there is a universe where you can somehow find these kills or get the diffuser down. Look at the fake alibi, so scary. Turns, finds the headshot, gonna find 1. Still 2 left though, has to get the diffuser. 1 gonna fall into a 1v2, so in 1v1, gonna get tagged up though, is going to fall. A beautiful effort by Trongo, trying to pull it back out of the depths, but Kennesaw, just too much.
Yeah, and I think it was the shock wall as well that sort of sealed the deal. Smoke bombs as well, just flying down. There's just so much
It's like that
getting
smoke,
blown
shock, stun, grenade.
Yeah, just everything. The whole kitchen sink being thrown at them and just not quite enough. Once again, just running out of time. Maybe an extra 5-10 seconds. They're able to turn that around. But once again, that's what the downfalls, the pitfalls of this sort of 30-second meta at that. It is so difficult once you fall down a couple of numbers. And once you fall down, you know, that time advantage as well.
Yeah, theoretically, if you have like a 4v2 and you play safe, you should never really lose a round unless somebody makes a god tier play, which we definitely see where you get kill, you turn on someone, find that second headshot. Kennesaw, knowing they have to play that numbers game, they played it pretty much flawlessly. Both of these teams kind of have, whenever they've had these man advantages, we haven't really seen too many of them slip away to the wayside. Kennesaw has done a good job locking it down. Going to see if Vonson can stay alive a little longer on this Legion. Be quite literally a thorn in the Saints' side and try to slow down that push. The Saints looking to find some room on the offense here. And they have struggled a little bit on the offensive side, especially getting Bandit tricked out the wazoo on that last map. Now they're going to adjust the approach and find some way to break into this Kennesaw hold.
You can see even they're trying to break through some of these ceiling holes as well, just to make sure that they can cover all of the angles. Just do it themselves at that point, you know, just make sure they've got the angles set up. But of course, taking out some of these cameras maybe, or shooting the wall. Just oh my goodness. Yeah, really early pick for the side of Kennesaw, and it's just forcing Blanc to sort of try and answer, but not really knowing where they are. You know, it was a quick pick and just get out. Yeah, and Blanc, as you said, going to be tagged down about 60% HP there, so going to be a beautiful play for Kennesaw. They're not going to take anything in return, so it's going to be a 1.5 for 0. Ultimately, now the Saints not going to have that. Sophia going to lose those concussion grenades, lose a bit of that hard reach ability. Or soft reach rather. Nezzy trying to hold this angle, trying to catch a Kennesaw member, maybe over-rotating, maybe getting a little bit greedy, and the Saints could play that into their hand, try to use this aggression, counter-attack, find this pick, get those numbers back even. But Kennesaw, once they get that pick, they done. I was going to say they don't like swinging that, but Vonson would beg to disagree. He is going to wide swing on that Legion and find another kill. Honestly, he has been so aggressive the entire series he's been playing. I'm not super surprised by it. Blanc gonna have to pull out that goo mine. They're going to get some info, though, at least. And it's just more damage put down onto Blanc, just more damage over time, just building up. Now it's, you know, 2 shots maybe to the body even will just take him down at that point. So got to be really careful if you're Blanc to hold all these angles real tight. But even then, against Vonson, that doesn't matter because Vonson will just psycho swing you right around that corner, find the shots regardless. And that's really been the difference maker. The big thing that we've seen as a difference between Vonson and Asua is that Vonson is willing to make these super wide swings. Spookito going to be getting on the board as well. Spookito's had a strong performance. Super solid. Yeah, he's been super solid, sitting at that 4 frags. And yeah, Vonson has, he's been a lot more proactive in the early round than Asua was. Nezzy is going to find that kill, trying to even things back up. 1:15 still to play, lots of time. Diffuser is in Trongo's hands. Maybe he can make some magic happen again. The Saints, they're going to have to get in tandem here, work something off Trongo. Kicking around on the rooftop though, Nezzy clearing out these top floors, trying to figure out where these Kennesaw members are located. He's going to fire off a few shots there. Not going to find anything. Going to get that drone out now. Now, going to do some info gathering, see if he can at least spot 1 or 2 members out, maybe set up Trongo for a kill, try to end up breaching something somewhere, but they have a lot of work to do for having under 1 minute to play. Once again, it's coming down to the timing. You know, 2v4s, we saw that they are possible. Just like that, you're able to find 1 pick, and all of a sudden it's a 2v3, only a 1-man disadvantage there. But nonetheless, your timing is going to be everything. Look at who's available. Once again, the Thatcher is available, so you still have that option to sort of break through a wall, see what you can find from there. But locate the bomb site. Do you still have the time to get in there, get that diffuser down? Because, you know, 6 seconds that you're going to be basically immobilized. You can't do anything. You just have to stick it at a certain point. Yeah, instead it was a 2v3, they have alibi. Technically, it's 2v5, but Kennesaw ultimately going to play that numbers advantage. They're going to sit back on these sites. Massive damage going to go in onto Sotera there. It is going to be Nezzy falling, though, to his hand. Going to be in that revive state. Only 6 seconds to play. Trongo going to fall. Going to be another round in the book for Kennesaw, and they have played super clean this first half of Villa. Yeah, Spookito finding another 3K in this round, so, you know, every single time it's Spookito taking advantage of the sort of odd man situations and the sort of the flustered attitude that Saints are forced into in these situations. Now you can start to see a switch up coming through. Xaron currently hovering that pulse would be another change
Mr. Worldwide
for them. Yeah, you got Pitbull on your side as well. Wonder if that sticks, because of course a couple of times we've seen those operators hovered and they switch as soon as the drones come
Pulse
out.
got locked. Pulse is one that it seems a little bit like, not like a solo queue, it's a lot of info gathering. You have to make sure you stay alive though, obviously, because then it's not like something you can throw on the ground, right? His pulse kit, he has to walk around holding that camera out, scanning for those heartbeats through the wall. So gonna try to keep him alive, set up maybe to try to find some kills for his teammates there. ultimately, though, we'll have to see how it's going to play out there. So Kennesaw maybe feeling confident now, maybe willing to expand that operator pool just a little bit. Maybe they want to play for these aggressive picks. Xaren not going to sit behind that shield on the alibi anymore. They're going to put Bonds in on that. So the thing is, too, they're switching these operators between players, even round after round. When they have success, they're willing, hey, you take alibi, I'm going to swap over to the pulse, put Soterra on the castle. They're doing a lot of swapping even amongst themselves, and that's the beauty of the nice thing about not having like a roll lock. Any of these players can play these ops. They're not really concerned about not having the skill necessary to play. You just go and swap and move on with it.
Yeah, I mean, because you're able to swap every single round as well, it gives you some more agency to do so. It's not as if you have to wait a whole map to potentially swap over and say, hey, you're playing Duelist this round or something like that. Bonzen, of course, on the alibi this round, has been the one to sort of find these opening frags every single time, but on his alibi, probably staying back a little bit more, going to hold a couple more cheese angles for himself.
I've seen some psychotic alibis try to spawn peek just sitting right behind their clone, trying to go like a 2-for-1. Maybe he's going to be in that boat, but not all the time. Kennesaw maybe going to play a little bit conservative now. The aggression has got them a lot far so far this series, but when you start to get this lead on map 3, the natural instinct is to try to, take a chill pill, make it a little more conservative plays, try to slow the game to a snail's pace, especially on that defensive side this first half. They're going to try to get this one to 4-0, sweep out the defense. The Saints, though, still struggling to find the in for the offensive end.
Sort of figuring out, hey, there's an ally on the opposite side because there's just someone standing in that bedroom, not really moving. Of course, you got to be careful because there's been a couple of times where it's been faked out. Just sort of taking out
beauty
immediately. The C4 through the floor, I believe that is.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. The Nitro Cell going to be too much there, going to take out Kira for the time being, and that's been the Saints kind of their ace in the hole. They've had a lot of struggle this game in general, but Kira has been one of the ones to get in there, get their hands dirty, initiate the offense, maybe find one of these picks. Blanc going to be repelled reverse upside down on this window, trying to find some kind of off angle here. Bonzen is going to be tagged down to about 60-65%, so a little silver lining for the Saints. Blanc going to toss that drone out there just to bait, though, knowing that members are barreling down on that window. That's how you do. You throw the drone out, see if the drone gets immediately popped, make the decision, I'm not going in there yet. Yeah, that's why.
Exactly. You take a decent amount. Oh, you're able to find the pick on the opposite side of it. Spider-Manning around who can. I believe, they're just going to get hard peeked at that point, throwing out the drone, caught with their hand in the cookie jar, unfortunately. But Bonzen, once again, just sort of holding these angles with the alibi thus far. Spookito, again, has just been on every one of these plays, Saren as well. And Manhattan had the strong performance in map 2, but thus far, sort of been a little bit more subdued, although is just able to pick up a pick right there. And now Trongo has to get back over for that diffuser. Nezzy has really been the one to carry on the Saints side, but nonetheless, it's been a tough uphill battle these first couple of rounds. They really haven't been able to get any sort of footing in this map.
Yeah, they got to find some way to get some momentum going. However, in a 4v2, they are going to get the diffuser. It is going to be a very tough sledding. Nezzy, once again. Nezzy and Trongo, I feel like, they've been in a 2v4, I think 2 or 3 times already this game. We've only played 2.5 rounds, so they're going to be in the same situation. Nezzy, though, going to get taken out nice and early there. And now it's going to be all onto Trongo. Trying to use that drone to get some info. It's going to be a solo effort here. He's going to hear one peeking that bomb. Maybe going to be ready to find the headshot. He's going to have to find a pretty much an instant pick on a headshot. Immediately turn and rotate and find a second. Oh, not going to find one in the first spray. That's going to be killer. And it's going to be Spookito to find that kill. I think Spookito's got 6, maybe 5 or 6 frags already. I'm not sure if he's died yet. So just, again, a beautifully clean round from Kennesaw. Just playing the numbers, playing safe when they get the numbers, and then just waiting for the Saints to walk in.
I mean, these sites just every single time on that second floor, maybe it's time for them to potentially... They need to try and change something up, it feels like. We're seeing a lot of the same stuff come through on the side of the Saints. We've seen the Ace come through. We've seen the Zofia come through multiple times. Nomad, I believe, is one we haven't seen quite as much. The Ash definitely been picked up a couple of times, but it just seems as if the side of Kennesaw are willing to pull out all of these different stops here. I mean, the Legion has come out a couple of times. The Smoke, so good at holding down those sites. And even the Bandit now, just to sort of counter the likes of that Thatcher on the opposite side to take their time.
Attackers need to locate.
Overall, it's been an uphill battle for the Saints, especially on this map, and it's much akin to what we saw last time on Villa as well. A lot of really close calls, a lot of 1v3, 2v3 situations which look closer, but they end up falling out of the side.
Yeah, they're going to see, a little bit of an adaptation. Defense, they're going to be a pretty standard fare there. See if the Saints can finally break through the ceiling here. We've seen a bit of the Nomad. The unfortunate thing is, Nomad is really good for setting up flanks and counter flanking with those air jabs to knock people on the ground. the Saints have not been in position to set up for flanks. They have barely even gotten entrance into this building, let alone getting in there with more than 2 or 3 players alive. And honestly, that's been the thing. They're getting picked outside of the building most of these times, where you're not even really getting in the building and creating space, at least causing mayhem. You're just dying on the outside of the building. Corp's just going to sit there. You're not going to get any value out of that. And Kennesaw knows it. They can just sit back, play defense, and they have played a flawless defensive half so far.
Checking out the cameras is CollegiateR6 just to sort of get a vibe for who is around.
Shield deployed.
Still sort of setting up here. CollegiateR6 just going to town on these floors, on everything, you know. Who needs shots to hit people with when you can just shoot the floor?
Listen, anything made of wood is not safe in this game. Oh, yeah. Absolutely not safe. Those shotguns going to tear apart that bar floor.
The ceiling isn't safe.
Oh, yeah, nothing. Listen, the ceiling is the floor, and the floor is not safe either. Saints going to try to get some info out here. Going to try to drone this one out. Trying to find where Kennesaw is, where they might be setting up with. Where is the alibi is another question they're definitely asking to try to figure out. Where are these decoys? Where are we going to try to play around these? Can we destroy them safely? Kennesaw, though, they're just going to sit back, wait for the Saints to push. Try to find that first pick again, and then, you know, just try to ride the round out like usual.
A slower start here from St. Clair, which is good. Like to see them sort of played a little bit more tactically. Not a whole lot of util burned, though, and I think that's something to worry about as well. Sometimes you just got to start dumping that down. Try and find, clear out any space that you can. I can see Kira, as he actually going to find a pick for themselves, but Kira taking a little bit of damage from those goo finds, as you mentioned. Nezzy going to get dropped as well. Trongo as well, turned on immediately, and we talked about how Nezzy and Trongo are the key ones. Oh my goodness, Kira going to drop as well. He's going to fall, but look at all these trades back and forth. Trongo with a sliver of health is still managing to find value.
Yeah, 1 HP Trongo able to find that frag. Another one got traded out for the Saints, though. Now going to be 3 versus 2 the Saints. This is exactly what they were looking for to try to maybe get on the board here, although Trongo playing that Thatcher is going to have to be extremely safe. Don't want to die with any utility in that back pocket. Try to set up the Saints here. They're going to find the bomb sites. Maybe going to spot one member of Kennesaw out as well. Try to get that hard mark and send the swing here. They're going to send Trongo. Being the 1 HP man, you're going to send him out for that first pick. Worst case, he gets some damage. He doesn't really have that much to lose at that point anyways. Get those Thatcher nades out. They're going to try to repeat this, re-drone this, gather this info. Kennesaw, 50 seconds left, still hunkering down. Bandit and Smoke, not the easiest 2 members to try to get on the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, especially the Smoke there.
Yeah.
There's 30 seconds left. You got to fight through all of that gas to get in there. But forcing out one of those nades right now to try and, yeah, that's one of them gone. And only with 1 left, Trongo going to try and do what they can. EMP to try and force it out. Blanc dealing a little bit of damage, taking someone to return, but CollegiateR6 holding this angle for dear life. Same with CollegiateR6. Find anything that they can to stop this push. Oh boy, there's the Thatcher dropping.
Wow, beautiful time for CollegiateR6 to swing. I thought they were maybe going to sit back and play the time. CollegiateR6 decides to be proactive, goes and finds that double kill.
Oh,
now
no.
He's going to lay down these smokes. Blanc in a world of pain right now. Trying to rotate. Yeah, Diffuser's going to be in a real bad way, but he will fall as well. It'll be CollegiateR6 to find that last kill. Kennesaw 4-0, clean sweep on the defensive side.
And it feels as if they've just been scaling up every single round. They're just getting stronger and stronger as the night progresses. It's gotten so much more difficult for the like of St. Clair to find any sort of solution. And I think at a certain point, you got to start pulling out some weird stops of your own. You know, we've seen the same sort of 5-6 operators come through from the side of Saints. Maybe you just got to switch it up. Maybe you just got to pull out a wild card and see what happens from there. Pull out something real aggressive to try and flip
double shields. Nah, they won't. I jokingly told the players between games, I said, yo, blitz Montaigne, and he just looked at me and shook his head and said, I don't think that's happening tonight. So we're not going to see anything too wacky. And honestly, this is pretty standard. You don't want to go away from what the game plan is, especially these are objectively 5 of the better ops to play. It just comes down, honestly, they're just not really connecting and finding those frags. They're getting out-fragged. They're not finding the trades they need. That round, they find a couple trades. Then CollegiateR6, though, makes a great play to swing when they weren't really expecting it. And again, it comes down to waiting so long to make that push. When there's 15 seconds left, you can't be worried about the flank or what CollegiateR6 is doing. You have to get onto that site and get that diffuser down, and ultimately, you can't focus on everything at once, and Kennesaw taking it full advantage of that.
Yeah, and I mean, you see the Tachanka locked in here. That's just going to lock down one hallway or something, or one room. You know, you've got that space to yourself. You've got all that extra health just to sort of survive a lot of the util dump that comes through. And of course, CollegiateR6, with those really strong swings and everything, is going to take advantage of that as well to try and close down as much space as possible. Big ol' LMG. what is that mag on top of it? It's like a big old frisbee.
It's a pizza.
I want pizza.
It's too late. We can't do this for the streams over.
listen, this is what happens on midnight streams. We start to lose touch a little bit here. Kira trying to find anything that they can on the entry, but nonetheless, things really need to try to change something up. Maybe just turn up the heat a little bit, turn up the tempo, but once again, this is a tactical shooter with a lot of emphasis on the tactical.
Yeah.
That it's just all about this util, and it just feels as if every single time Kennesaw State is just a step ahead.
Yeah, they're just exactly. They seem to be one step ahead of the Saints. The Saints are reading into things maybe a little bit too late, not exactly ready for some of these plays, because Kennesaw has been extremely proactive on the defensive side. They've been getting out there, trying to seek out those picks, and just like that, they're going to get another one. It's going to be Nezzy falling first in round 5.
Unfortunately, Nazi, despite a hot start, having a little bit of trouble to keep it up. You're going to be down as well. Someone's able to rotate over to them, but it's going to be tough. You know, don't want to be revealing your position. You already know where you down to that op, but you just really need to try and get someone over there to keep that numbers, at least the numbers close at that point.
That was
Vonzen.
That was ambitious.
Good turnaround.
Vonzen tried to maybe catch him reloading or in between sprays, tried to find the headshot. Very aggressive play. Don't necessarily hate the idea, but he is going to fall. Still not quite dead, though. They could find this revive, and also Kira is going to be tagged down very low. They actually are going to secure this revive onto the Legion, so beautiful job by Kennesaw. The one time a member falls, he'll get back up, chuck all those goo mines on the floor. In worst case, you know, he ends up falling later on, but able to buy some more time for Kennesaw.
Great angle held by Trongo there. Just again, Spider-Man around, upside down, inside out. Whatever you want to call the angle, it's working at least for the time being. A little bit dizzying to watch after a while, let's be real. Just trying to hold that angle, trying to find anything that they can. But once again, those pixel peaks really turn these maps around. Oh no. 2 just going down right away. Great plays by Mindhiden once again. Are we even surprised at this point that those guys able to just pop off like that?
Yeah, no, not at all. Saints trying to get back in this one, though. They're going to find that kill. Kira, once again, trying to be the hero for St. Clair. Going to be tagged down about 15, 20 HP there, though. Going to have Trongo in the back pocket there trying to help out. Maybe try to facilitate some of these trades. You are going to have to deal with that Lord Tronka with a full kit of utility, a full Frisbee mag ready to unload onto the Saints. Again, the Alibi indicate 2 very strong ops to still have alive. They are going to find that kill. Kira going to fall on that low HP. Now all onto Trongo yet again. Will they be able to pull out any heroics? It's going to be a tough task, but we'll have to see.
Holding these angles, but you know, there's so much util still to be burned. It's actually going to be a pickup onto CollegiateR6.
Copium.
Seconds left in the round, so many angles to hold once again. Drogo's gonna have to start to push it down with the fire. Burning them a little bit there, and that angle is so difficult. Xarin with that Tachanka, with the Pizza Man.
Good old Tachanka.
Dropping down a whole slurry of bullets, and then just cut down the window to get his way out.
Back in my day, that turret couldn't move, and you did not have incendiary grenades like that. But, however, they are gonna have it nonetheless. So I think the Saints maybe going to take some kind of timeout or some kind of pause here, so we are going to have to pause the game very quickly. Maybe some kind of PC issue or something of the likes otherwise than that. Kennesaw, though, been off to a blazing start so far. They're up to 5-0, and now they're going to have to try to battle back. The Saints trying to find some kind of answer right now. They haven't found anything for Kennesaw on this map so far. They're just really down in the dumps. They have to find some way to get back online, and they want to get back in the series.
Yeah, and of course, it's going to be difficult because you're down 5-0 at this point. You really need to try and find some sort of switch up in your favor.
Yeah.
Especially when it's getting later on into the night, you know, the eyes start, oh, what's going on at this point? You can't tell if it's an ally or if it's the enemy at this point. So, I mean,
looking at it, they must see like 8 alibis, and they're looking at
it's like, alibi. Oh my goodness, I need an alibi after that one at that point.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Nonetheless, it's definitely been a little bit of an uphill battle for the side of the Saints, and it's possible.
It is.
Won't count it out until it's over
Exactly.
at this point. I mean, we were talking about, you know, at this point, if we're going on map 3, it's going to go to overtime or something like that. Kennesaw really wants to just get their weekend started at this point. So curious to see if they'll be able to hold the line. But it seems like for the time it being is a little bit longer than expected. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have the conclusion of map 3 for you.
Really stack up these rounds.
And you can just see sort of the angles being held here. CollegiateR6 trying to find anything that they can, but, you know, 4v2 situation. At the same time, it's all about these numbers. CollegiateR6 with that diffuser, what's going to happen? They're getting burned down here just a little bit by the environmental teams. But look at that. Flipping around 2 kills on their own, looking for a little bit more, but Zerky going to be able to shoot. Yeah, CollegiateR6 back up on Hide and immediately going to go down. Spookito as well, all in a row. Nezzy on a triple kill here. My goodness, it's down to 1. And
Nezzy finds 4 in the flawless. Wow. When it was seemingly not going to be a play, he's going to pop off in this kitchen, in this freezer area. 4 members of Kennesaw are going to fall on the sword there. So that could definitely be a problem. Kira holding his headshot angle. Perfect timing by Maidenhide to pick that kill up. The Saints are going to have to move, though. 3 seconds. One going to bring it to a 3v1. Diffuser is going down now, so they are going to buy that time bonus. But It is down to a 2v1. Mindhiden versus the world.
Oh!
And he is good.
Shot headshot, that's all you need from all these angles being held. Exactly what's going to happen. Mindhiden has just been so sure with those shots thus far. Look at this angle, just... Yeah, you get
I thought they nerfed
glimpse.
this gun 3 years ago. It still does that, huh?
All right, the shot's going to come down. Not quite yet. There it is, 4v1. They got to look for this defuse right now, though.
Yeah, not needed. Kira finding 2 kills at the end there. Beautiful job by the Saints. They played it really, really close time-wise once more, and it always gets a little bit sticky when you're relying for that last entrench. Starts like a squeeze on Kennesaw. Air jab going to be dropping the stairs. Beautiful angle by Blanc, finding the swing on red there. And he's going to find that kill. Saints now with the early advantage. What are they able to do with it, though?
See, just sort of grouping up this time, playing together as a team, trying to find any sort of trades possible because they know they got that man advantage once again. Mindhiden, one of the 3 people who really popped off for the side of Kennesaw with Tronco, taking a couple of shots. You can see Blanc just trying to fire anything that they can do on that angle. You know, you see the alibi, you know exactly what it is.
Oh, beautiful.
Goodness.
Grenade. Oh.
Let's see how many people have set up there. Oh. Shots.
Yeah, there's one. Has 3 more to go here. And going to be taken out by Trongo. Saints, another beautiful attacking round. Finding that kill onto Xarin in the backside of that shield was honestly the catalyst. He was basically locking down that entire room for the last 3 or 4 rounds of Saints.
Yeah, it's just going to be 5v1. And welcome back, everyone, as we crawl later into the night here.
Woo.
Round 6 coming through. Kennesaw has definitely had Saints' number in this one, but nonetheless, a little bit of a switch-up coming through from the side of the Saints. A couple of different operators getting picked up. See, that's an IQ as one of the options. We'll see if they're able to increase their intelligence quotient and potentially find themselves around one.
Wow, that was... All right, I'm going to let that one go. I'm not even going to touch that one with a 20-foot ball. I'm going to let Adam... It's way too late for this. I'm going to let him slide with that one. But the Saints calling that tactical timeout, trying to get back in the game. I think Adam needs a timeout in the corner after this one as well. The Saints trying to get back in this game somehow, some way. Nothing has gone their way so far. Kennesaw has had their number at every turn, whether it's been frags, utility usage, setting up these rotations. The Saints just seem to be a step behind this game. And down 5-0, they don't really have any more time to play.
Yeah, and realistically here, you know, for the side of Kennesaw, they can just go back to some of their old tricks. You know, we see the commissioner picked up there by Vonzen.
Pitbull and Gordon on the same team.
Yeah,
pretty goated squad.
This is multiverse. At this point. You can tell it's getting late. This is what happens on these late night casts, but nonetheless, as he just already getting entry here, going incredibly quickly, you know, just sprinting onto the site here. And
Why not?
At this point, maybe that's the strategy. Just try and get in there, try and, you know, pick up the pace as much as possible and catch Kennesaw State off guard because thus far, you know, Nezzy's just been allowed into this house.
I know it wouldn't work. Unironically, I kind of want the 5 members to run right in the front door and just see, all right, 5v5, who's going to end up egoing this and winning it out. The Saints, so trying to take up Mindhiden early in this round, shut down that mute. Going to find some damage, but not going to find the kill yet, so he will stand for the time being.
You can see the pulse just sort of sweeping as much space as possible. My goodness, what a swing coming through for Mindhiden once again. Mute, you know, doing
mute things.
Yeah, doing.
Shutting down these rooms, yeah. And Mindhiden, we know this guy is not scared to fight anyone. Gonna send that nitro over the wall, not gonna find any value with it. Is still gonna be at about 1/3 of his HP, but all it takes is 1 or 2 bullets to find that kill. Thatcher gonna go through. Another Saint gonna fall. It's gonna be Kira falling to Vonzen yet again on that Warden. Nezzy trying to find it, is gonna find one. Trades are gonna go out though. Spukito gonna be on the winning end of that second one. Trongo gonna fall. Zerky is going to get one back, though. The Saints are trying to fight tooth and nail here, trying to keep this round going. They will make this into a 2v2 now. Nezzy and Zerky versus Sotera and Xarin. Who is going to come away with this one? Mr. Worldwide IQ. They both have the same ability. It messed me up. Pulse and IQ both equally trying to scan out each other. I believe IQ can scan Pulse's heartbeat sensor if he has it out as well. So you can catch Pulse lurking with your own version of a lurk. So trying to play that counterplay, but we have 55 seconds and it's a 2v2.
Lurking the lurker. We'll see what they're able to do. Ooh, able to put someone through the wall there. At least something at the very least.
It's a utility that he cannot shoot through the pistol because it's in the floor.
Yeah, the pistols are definitely something.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But nonetheless, you know, 40 seconds down. A little bit more time to work with than what Saints are used to in this situation, which is good for them. It can potentially afford them that potential. But once again, it's going to be that's the charge push through the wall. Are they able to get the turnaround? No, Pulse is going to cut them down. It's a 1-4-1 though, and Zerky finally on mono-e-mono. see what they're able to do here. But Zerky, not a whole lot of time to work with here. They've got to try and get this diffuser down ASAP.
I was going to say, he's going to have to swing, otherwise it's 12 melees to that castle door. I think he's going to walk onto site here. He's going to have to try to plant this diffuser. Sotero is just going to try to play this one safely, waiting for this diffuser to come down. Hear those clicking. Wait, the keyboard. He's going to get spotted on the floor. And Zerky is going to find that kill. The Saints finally get on the board. Maybe it's the starting step to getting back in this game, but again, lots of work still to do.
Though King and Castle may try and stop him, it will not be enough. Just barely by, had to be under a second.
Yeah, it was
down to the wire.
They played it close.
But nonetheless, I'm going to be swapping sides here. So, a little bit of a switch up going to be coming through for the Saints. They're going to have their chance to sort of hold the defense here. An incredibly strong defensive half.
Well, they better hold.
From the side of Kennesaw. Yes, I mean, they have to. It is a necessity at this point. Only need 2 attacking rounds for the side of Kennesaw to close this one out. And already you can see Mute going to come through, the Aruni going to come through, Smoke as well going to be picked up. And as he going to opt for the Cringe with the LOI.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Cringe is a good name for it. That's basically what it is. You know what you're doing when you're playing that character. Everybody in the lobby knows. But nonetheless, that's why it is such a strong operator to play. We are going to see a few variations from the other side as well. We're going to see the Ana. We're going to see the Gridlock coming through. So basically, I believe she throws a bunch of like spike traps down on the floor, basically just so you can't walk over. Kind of like barbed wire on steroids, just to throw it over a whole wide area. Basically going to shut down that room or shut down that push, slow it down, make some utility get burned. So we're going to continue to see adaptations as this game goes on, but St. Clair going to need to keep executing because that round, the one they won, was a 50-50 in a 1v1 with 1 second left. So you don't. That's not going to be consistent for you.
I wouldn't even call it a 50-50. It was more like a 5-95 with the fact that, you know, the attacker had to win exactly that fight, exactly at that point. You had no time to work with. Ana's going to try and fake him out here as much as possible, as much as the alibi is. We're just going to have lots of extra characters running around here. But Nezzy already holding some of these cringe angles for themselves. You know, they got to do what they got to do.
Listen, when you're up 5-1, you do what you have to do to get the W, or try to get back in the game if you're the Saints side. Trongo going to set up these mute jammers now. Going to hopefully try to slow this push to Kennesaw. Forget that potted plant. Melee that thing, knock that thing over. Trongo be locking down this room. Bunch of members. Looks a little goofy, some of the characters, but ultimately they are still setting up these rounds. Trying to hold off Kennesaw. Spray going to come through Nezzy, getting some info there. Not going to find... going to get a little bit of damage on Bonds and onto the Ash, but nothing to write home about.
They're going to be able to spot this one out, throwing on a charge as well. Trying to get as much space as possible. Here comes Iana, going to sprint around, trying to get even more information here. Not going to spot anyone out for the time being, but you know, it's all smoke and mirrors just going to run right through that Aruni trap.
So just a fake out. She knows what she's doing. Going to get that info, try to gather those sprays, maybe set up a teammate to hit a crossfire there. And Kennesaw can look to barrel down. Nezzy is going to find first blood, though. Beautiful job taking out that Gridlock. Sledge going to get traded out. That grenade on Nezzy was perfect, but Blanc going to be there for the answer. The Saints doing a much better job of answering these kills from Kennesaw as they're coming in. And we are once again going back and forth in this round. Now a 3v3, one of these teams trying to break through and win this one.
I feel like in these situations as well, you get a little bit more of an advantage when you're on that defensive side because you can just always burn out the clock. You don't need to force any of these fights. You can hold these angles for as long as possible. You can see Aruni is still up. Of course, her cage is not. I believe that was eaten up by the Iana as well. So going to have a little bit less utility. It just comes down to that aim from Kira as well. And we've seen that they do have that available for them. Not thus far on this map specifically, but they do have the capability of clutching it out there for them, of course. Congo is still up and around, but nonetheless, slowing it down is Kennesaw State. They really just want to make sure they're executing this properly to put themselves onto match point.
Yeah, they're going to get that ace breach going. They're going to send in the Onicle, and I believe once again they're going to be on cooldown. They're going to try to make something happen. Yeah, Spookito going to do some info gathering. That Nitro cell is ticking like a time bomb. Luckily, that is the fake Iana, so he's not thinking no repercussions if he gets spotted out here. Just for info. Look, just going to run across the site. Mute Jammer going to take that out, though, but they are going to find the kill. Trongo pulling out the Pumpy. Going to find the kill onto Bonzen. The Saints now with the man advantage. 30 seconds still to play, so lots of time to mess with. But they are going to have to be very, very smart how they proceed here. Spookito not knowing Nitro Cell. Shotgun to the back. Wombo combo by Trongo. Going to find his second of the round there. Sotera trying to find the rest of the kills here. All going to be on him, but uphill battle. 15 seconds remaining as well. All likelihood, this one will go over to the Saints, although I fear to say anything. There it goes. The Saints will take their second.
Sotera just running out of time once again. You know, the issue with sort of leaving it down to the last 30 seconds is you gotta do something. You gotta move. You gotta do anything that you can, and unfortunately gets gunned down in their tracks there. And Claire holding on that defense, showing that, hey, this site might be more defensive-sided than we would have expected, but once again, Kennesaw, they only need 2. It is coming down to the wire here. Of course, 1 will force overtime at the very least.
Yeah.
So, you know, they've got a lot to play with. They've got a lot of room to do whatever they so desire, and I think in a lot of ways, they're just going to play towards the meta, what they want to pull out. They don't need to pull out any of these crazy tricks here. The Yana got to come through again. Nomad, we saw that a lot on attack from the side of the Saints, the Sledge as well. Nothing too crazy coming through.
Yeah, pretty much the expected 5. Yana's been the only slight wrinkle, and they've been running her the last couple rounds. As you can see, just really good at info gathering. Basically, it's like Phoenix is running back in Valor. You literally just go out there. There is no downside to what. If you get caught out, it doesn't matter. You've gathered the info. You've maybe triggered some utility. It's all you need out of the character. Spookito piloting it well so far, and all the other members of Kennesaw piloting these operators at an extremely high level. The Saints trying to gather that consistent defense now, trying to stack these rounds up, and clearly we can see defense has been the flavor of Villa, but the Saints will have to continue to hold that if they want to make it back in this series.
Of course, so long as you aren't, you know, caught using your code and you're like, oh, well, I'm giving up all my positioning and everything, then you should be okay on that Yana. Thus far, Spookito's just had a fantastic map. You know, after a really slow map 1, started stepping up in map 2, this is definitely their map to show what they're all about. Trongo on the opposite side doing the same thing, you know, a slower start in map 1, really picked it up in map 2, and now being sort of that standout, holding the line alongside Nezzy here as much as possible, you know, showing that this is a 5-pronged attack here, that everyone can step up when necessary. Nezzy just clearing out as many walls as possible. You know what? We don't need these. We don't need this extra cover. We got to find them and take them down.
Build bridges, not walls, man. Come together. Clear out those walls, though.
Build bridges, break walls, I suppose.
Exactly. The Rainbow Six meta there. Kira gonna get that Wamai going there. They're gonna try to find some value here. They're gonna have to find a couple of these rounds as well. They're down in the dumps right now. Still 5-2. They brought it back at least in striking distance, but Kennesaw has proven to make great adaptations, make fantastic adjustments. Which team will be able to find the angle here? I have a frag cooking down below as well. Maybe try to find something. Nothing gonna come through for the time being, though.
Once again, slow march forward. The sensor is popping off there. And then X-Sharon's right there, and a great swing off of that information picked up. Nezzy, though, going to be down. Will anyone be able to pick up? Have to see about this positioning. They do have a decent amount of time. No one's really going to finish it off quite yet. Never mind, I say that. Casper out
of course, yeah. They tried so hard, they could not end up finishing it off there. Now we're into a 4v4. Meinheiden tagged down low. Blanc, though, barely escaping with their lives there. Trying to get away, keep that Jaeger alive, able to use a little more utility possibly later in the round there. But Kennesaw, as I said, they are in a 4v4. They have no advantage for either team right now. We're halfway through the round. Which team is going to blink first? It's going to come down to I think whoever wins these next gunfight or two, probably going to be the one to take that momentum and able to make a play. But we've seen crazier things, and we'll have to see if St. Clair's got anything crazy in store.
Yeah, of course, Meinheiden on that sledge once again, just going to be such a menace, such a pest breaking through all those walls. You know, nothing is safe from the wrath of the hammer at that point. Of course, Meinheiden also pretty good aim, pretty good at everything else. You know, we saw a couple of great rounds from him already. Having a little bit more of a substitute performance, allowing for Spookito to sort of be that carry in this situation, but nonetheless, it's like just holding as many angles as possible. Now down to the last 30%, 25% of this round. We'll see what they're able to do. Trongo going to fall. Going to be the Jaeger taken out of commission.
Oh, little grenade off the wall there. A little bit late. I was going to say he's cooking that one a little bit too long, a little bit overdone, a little bit burnt there. Meinheiden, no matter. Grenade damage going to go through. Blanc going to be on the receiving end of a trade there, and now into a 3v2. But look at the HP of the Saints. Combine that one, you're still in single digits pretty much. So they're going to have to make some kind of play here. Diffuser is going to go down, though. Kennesaw going to be in full control. Bonzen going to get tagged up to about half, though. Maybe a silver lining. A couple members actually tagged down low, but Saints are going to find the kills there. Going to be into a 1v2 all on Tzerky, sitting very, very low on HP. This is going to be a very tricky play. And man, I love that beeping in my ear the entire time.
Oh boy, yeah. Good thing it's over.
There it is.
Tzerky
going to fall. Put me out of my misery for the beeping. And now Kennesaw going to be on to match point. Going to be up to a 6-2 lead, I believe it is right now. One more round. Close the Saints out on Villa and take that and retain their 7th place position.
Of course, even for them, they're going to move up in those standings with a victory and
yeah,
effectively assure themselves a playoff spot as well. And Saints will have to do a little bit more, get back to the drawing board, try and pick up a victory next week if that is the case. Of course, seems like the tried and true going to stick with it. The IQ now as an option to push forward, get as much information there. Mute Castle, as you mentioned, very standard, nothing too crazy going to come through. Once again, Kier going to drop in with that Malusi. Something a little bit different. Just get as much information as possible. Hold the fort down, of course.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to move around the map real quickly, but at the cost of that extra little bit of health.
Yeah, and for, I guess, a little anecdote about CR6, the league, yeah, either one of these teams going to move up positions, and one of the teams actually banned from the league because they had some player swapping trickery going on. So either one of these teams probably will get an extra place moved up if they end up winning this series as well. That means playoffs are going to be a little bit easier to get in as well. It was one of the top teams, I believe. I can't remember the school off by name, but it was one of the top 5 schools. So a lot of the wins are going to get redistributed. The Saints might be able to catapult themselves even farther than 7th, as you said, if they're able to bring this comeback. Kennesaw looking to break into that top 5. Either one of these teams trying to get high seeding for the playoffs, having that one game left next week to play out. And the Saints, as they said, winning that 5th game should lock you in playoffs almost guaranteed. Going 4-3, though, you're going to need maybe some help on the back end there. You're going to put yourself in a pretty tricky situation. So if you're not able to come back this game, which they still have time, but it has not looked good, to be honest. They have that game next week, but they're going to want to try to get back in this one right now and save themselves the headache next week.
I think the main thing about Swiss brackets is that it comes down to strength of schedule. And if Kennesaw ends up going, 6-1 or something, that loss doesn't look as bad as potentially their first loss of the year. We'll have to double check on that record for them, because if they lost to a team that's now like 2-4 or something, that doesn't really help their chances in that situation. And then let's say they fall to 4-3 as well. It really depends on the strength of that opponent as well. So usually later season losses are a little bit more forgiving, but that first loss of the season might end up coming to haunt them. Already Nezzy going to fall. That's going to haunt them in that situation, because I believe that's the castle already down.
Yeah, Xaren got tagged up a little bit there. Maybe the Saints were going to have the angle. They did get shut down. Now that castle is going to be out of commission there. The Saints trying to work back this numbers advantage, though. They're going to get a couple members tagged down a little bit, so maybe some angles here. Hayden is going to fall off there. They're going to find that kill as Blanc. So just like that, into a 4v4, getting Xaren tagged down just a little bit. Saints have a little bit of life in this round just yet.
Oh, 1, 2, 3.
Count them.
4.
Count them all.
5. Oh, 5. Are they missing
6, 7.
Oh,
I don't think you missed. I think maybe hit the same spot.
Oh, there we go.
Count them all up.
9.
There you saw the castle melee right at the end of the game, so you can see how long it takes. We finally got to see it.
At the very least, we got a little bit of counted in there just to make sure that we've still got our wits about us.
Yeah, I was counting in letters.
Yeah, nonetheless, round 9 here. 9 shots to break through the castle wall, and just under 90 seconds, about 75 seconds left in this round. Once again, down to our 40-second meta at that. Shots been taken by Blanc there, down to about half HP. They'll have to continue to push forward, see what they can achieve for themselves. Holding this angle is Blanc, but nonetheless, this diffuser still a little bit of a distance away there. Not going to quite be on there. It is Spookito on that Yana who has that command, but another shot taken by Girabonk outside.
Beautiful roam.
Great play by Sotera.
That is beautiful. And right now, Sotera is currently being, he was getting live marked. They caught that hop out, though, into a 4v3. They're doing a great job. Beautiful grenade to find the damage. They're going to get a tag as well. Diffuser should be planted. We are in a 3v3. They are going to shut down that diffuser. Saints trying to hold on. Blanc doing work still. Sotera outside of this window, waiting for that hop out, waiting for that roam to maybe come through that second one. The Saints, though, are more than happy to try to run off this clock. That diffuser not getting planted was huge. They're going to find that 3v1 now. They're going to look to put the squeeze onto Sotera here. Try to find this kill. He's going to have to walk through the smoke. Going to pick up one. He's still got 2 more to find, though, and he's got limited time. 9 seconds into a 1v1, third of the round. Looking to end the game here. Oh, Sotera! 4 kills when it looked like it was no longer possible. They will shut the Saints down on Villa, and Kennesaw is going to take this one 2-1. The Saints looked like they had it, and it was snatched away in the depths of victory. Kennesaw 7-2 will take that one. What a play to end it off.
Yeah, wow. It's Sotera just sprinting through the house, finding 1, 2, 3, 4,
literally
all in a row. Nonetheless, a overall very strong effort from the side of Kennesaw on that last map.
Yeah.
And I think after that map one, it just seems as if they flipped a switch in their head. They brought Vons in, and it just looked as if they were a different team. And unfortunately for the Saints, they are going to fall to 4-2 on the season. Still a chance at playoffs, but nonetheless a little bit of a punch in the gut there for them. They've still got another week of play, so I think they can still push it through, but nonetheless, a little bit of a tough loss there.
Maybe the stream is cursing the Academy team. We stream them twice, they lose twice, they go 14 wins in a row in between all that. So nonetheless, they have had a great season so far. They're going to continue to build on this, as you said, work toward these next weeks of playoffs. It's just very, very unlucky for us but we got a good series at least. And as you said, Kennesaw, they look like they learned a lot more of the info. They seem to store it a little better. They're able to use that data, progress these rounds. Because they looked like they got significantly better as the games went on. Vincent coming in played phenomenally, like a lot more proactive than I believe Asu was playing, but nonetheless, he played his role so well. All of Kennesaw knew exactly where to be, how they wanted to play these rounds out. The Saints, they just, as we said, it's like they got behind and never could really make that huge leap to catch up.
Yeah, of course, but later today, we can say that now. Oh my,
11 hours,
is
12
not
hours from now.
over. Yes, but later on today, we will have that CCA open for Rocket League. But of course, bringing up that schedule for next week once again, we've got ourselves quite the matchup coming through. Of course, Monday, Call of Duty Vanguard versus Three Rivers College. The Academy team still looking to try and find even more chips for themselves. I believe that is NJ Action, if I remember correctly. So, of course, going to be trying to pick themselves up another championship there. Tuesday, League of Legends, Star League. I believe that's getting moved earlier as well. It will be probably.
We love that.
Always. We love it when it's early. It's not an 8:30 start, especially since it is playoffs top 8. Probably us two back. We're going to have some fun with that one. But, of course, on Wednesday, it's going to be Academy coming through against University of Mount Union. Thursday for Halo. Friday for Rocket League versus Northwood. Oh, boy, it's going to be a fun week full of absolutely everything that we can. But, of course, for tonight, we need it.
Are we done already?
We're done?
So soon?
What?
Wow. Insane. With that being said, though, we thank everybody for tuning in with us. We know it's been a long night. We had to fight through the Ubisoft issues. We had a long series go all 3 games. The Saints did fall to Kennesaw. Now, as you said, they are 4-2, looking to play their last CR6 game next week, make this run for the playoffs. But we thank everybody so much for tuning in. Jobin, Adam, we got Dan and Alex holding it down. We've all been here for what seems like forever. And hey, at least me and Dan will catch you guys in about 12 hours for that CCA Open. So we hope you guys will watch later today, and we thank you guys for watching.
Up the stairs, though. Kira not quite going to catch it there. It's actually Spookito on the other side. Going to be able to cut down 1. Able to cut down 2. Spookito, great positioning, and despite the early pick.
The verse where he can somehow find these kills or get the diffuser down. Look at the fake alibi. So scary. Turns, finds the headshot. Going to find 1. Still 2 left, though. Has to get the diffuser. 1 going to fall into a 1v2. So, 1v1 going to get tagged up, though. Is going to fall. A beautiful effort by Trongo, trying to pull it back out of the depths. But Kennesaw, just too much.
Yeah, I think it was a shock wall as well. Sometimes you just gotta start dumping that down. Try and clear out any space that you can. I can see Kira is actually gonna find a pick for themselves, but Kira taking a little bit of damage from those blue lines, as you mentioned. Nezzy gonna get dropped as well. Trongo as well turned on immediately, and we talked about how Nezzy and Trongo are the key ones. Oh my goodness, Kira gonna drop as well. Gonna fall, but look at all these trades back and forth. Trongo with a sliver of health is still managing to find value.
Yeah,
a little bit of damage, taking someone to return, but Satera holding this angle for dear life. Same with Sharon. Anything that they can stop this push. Oh boy, there's a Thatcher dropping.
Wow, beautiful time for Xtherin to swing. I thought they were maybe going to sit back and play the time. Xtherin decides to be proactive, goes and finds that double kill. Now he's going to lay down these smokes. Blunk in a world of pain right now, trying to rotate. Yeah, the Diffuser's going to be in a real bad way, but he will fall as well. It'll be Sotera to find that last kill.
Mono. See what they're able to do here, but Zerky, not a whole lot of time to work with here. They've got to try and get the diffuser down ASAP.
I was going to say, he's going to have to swing, otherwise it's 12 melees to that castle door. I think he's going to walk onto site here. He's going to have to try to plant this diffuser. Sotero is just going to try to play this one safely, waiting for this diffuser to come down. Hear those clicking away at the keyboard. He's going to get spotted on the floor. And Zerky going to find that kill. The Saints finally get on the board. Maybe it's the starting step to getting back in this game, but again, lots of work still to do. Have to make some kind of play here. Diffuser is going to go down, though. Kennesaw going to be in full control. Bonds is going to get tagged up to about half, though. Maybe a silver lining. A couple members actually tagged down low, but Saints are going to find the kills there. Going to be into a 1v2 all onto Zerky, sitting very, very low on HP. This is going to be a very tricky play. And man, I love that beeping in my ear the entire time.
Oh boy, yeah. Good thing it's over.
There it is. Zerky going to fall. Put me out of my misery for the beeping. And now Kennesaw going to be on to match point. Going to be up to a 6-2 lead, I believe it is. Find that 3v1 now. They're going to look to put the squeeze onto Sotera here. Try to find this kill. He's gonna have to walk through the smoke. Gonna pick up one. He's still got 2 more to find though, and he's got limited time. 9 seconds into a 1v1, third of the round. Looking to end the game here. Oh, so Terra, 4 kills when it looked like it was no longer possible. They will shut the Saints down on Villa, and Kennesaw is gonna take this one 2-1. The Saints looked like they had it, and it was snatched away.